Night in Little Rock, Arkansas, as it's the highest classification in high school football in the state of Arkansas. It's the 7A state championship game between the Bryant Hornets and the Bentonville Tigers. Hell of a one, I'm RJ Hawk along with Bobby Swafford for tonight's clash of titans in the state of Arkansas. And Bobby, you see this matchup on paper and you're like, whoa. You think of 7A, and over the last 4 years, it's been the Bryant Hornets. It's been all domination of the Bryant Hornets. They've won the last 4 state championship games, but if you're in the media, if you're a fan of 7A football this year, you've been waiting for this matchup.
This is the matchup you've been waiting 5 years for, to be quite honest, because Bentonville dominated the first half of the teams, right? So 2010 through 2015, they were the team that was in Little Rock every year playing for a championship. In the last couple of years, Coach Jody Grant said earlier this week, they didn't do their part. They didn't do enough to get here. They always stumbled in that quarterfinal round, could not set up that date with Bryant, but now we got 2 Titans in Arkansas scoring off for the state's largest championship.
Well, let's look how they got here, because the playoff road for both these teams has been interesting. Bryant pretty much dominated its way through its side of the bracket, Bobby. A lot of people thought that this was going to be a Bryant-Cabot matchup, and Bentonville took care of that side of the bracket.
It was all about defense in the semifinals. Bryant's defense and special teams forced a lot of turnovers. That's why they coasted past Conway. But Bentonville's defense came up huge. Of course, special teams, they kick a field goal in the last 10 seconds of that game. But you look at Bentonville's defense throughout this entire season, going all the way back to week 2, they've been giving up maybe a dozen points per game. That's where Bentonville is so much better than their competition most times is on that defensive side of the football, because they make you earn every inch, let alone giving up a yard.
Now, we've talked so much about these 2 teams and how good they are. Let's talk about the coaches for just a moment, because you've got Jody Grant at Bentonville and you've got Buck James at Bryant. At their respective schools, Buck James has 77 wins. Jody's got 79 wins. I mean, you've got 2 really good coaches.
Yeah, and they also should have more wins, but they always get first-round buys, and so they're kind of cheating themselves a little bit. But, I mean, that's the epitome of having a good program. It all starts with having a good coach who starts everything from the foundation, and both of these coaches know that you win games in the Class 7A up front, and these 2 lines, both offensively and defensively, are going to be impressive to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. And, you know, we had some rain that came through earlier today, but it's all cleared out. They were saying, I was looking at the forecast a moment ago, and we'll get to it later, but we could have the temperature get up to around 62 by halftime.
Yeah, this is not what you expect that first weekend in December, but, you know, the crowd's a little late arriving. It's been kind of misting all day in Little Rock, and so, but hey, that means they're watching at home on television on Arkansas PBS, and like last year, we saw a great one between Bryant and Fayetteville. I think a good one's on tap tonight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I know there's a lot of folks that I looked out the back window of the press box right before we went on. There's actually a line down 630 and around Fair Park of people trying to get into this game, and so it'll be a good one. We will go over keys to the game as well as players to watch when we come back, as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
I think it's important for Arkansas PBS to have sports because it provides sports on a greater platform to the entire community. And it also gives people in various other communities an opportunity to see other schools and other athletes and to have a greater appreciation for not just their own community, but the sports that are available across the state of Arkansas. There are so many lessons that sports provides, and it's one of the reasons why it's so important to the next generation of athletes coming up.
What makes a dairy bar different from other food establishments? Here in Arkansas, it describes a whole selection of restaurants we love. It's a location that serves ice cream, burgers, or hot dogs, some having been in existence 50 years or more. Come travel with me on a culinary itinerary of Arkansas dairy bars.
Download the PBS video app or watch online.
Stream the best of PBS on any device with the PBS Video app. All your favorite drama, history, science, news, and documentaries, all in one place. Watch your PBS station live or catch up on the shows you missed. Support your PBS station and you can get Passport, giving you full seasons, early releases, special collections, and more.
Download the PBS Video app or watch online.
7A state championship game between the Bryant Hornets and the Bentonville Tigers. And Bobby, it's now time to go over some players to watch in this one. And we'll first start with Bentonville, where they've got an outstanding wide receiver in C.J. Brown.
You automatically think of running backs in the running game when you talk about Bentonville, but C.J. Brown, number 2, who you can see on the screen there, makes the play-action game so dangerous for this squad. 66 catches, already more than 1,200 yards on the season, and 16 touchdowns in just the 12 games. A huge impact player on the outside.
On the other side of the football for Bryant, James Martin, the running back, has run for 107 carries this year and has scored 17 touchdowns.
Yeah, that 17 touchdowns is impressive. And the numbers don't jump off the stat sheet, mainly because, and we say this every year, because Bryant plays about a half. You know, they've invoked the mercy rule on so many teams, but you're talking about 624 yards on just 107 carries, so about 6 yards a carry. But you find pay dirt that many times in 12 games, that's obviously a reason why you're watching number 23 on your screen.
Well, let's go down the sideline and check in with the third member of our broadcast team, Dorian Kraft. And Dorian, before the game, I knew you had a chance to talk with Jody Grant about Bentonville having to raise their level of play for this football season.
Thanks, RJ. Head coach Jody Grant admitted that before each of the last 2 seasons, all of the head coaches in the 7A West have gotten together to talk about how they could collectively raise their game to compete with the teams in the 7A Central. The Central has dominated the conference over the last 6 years, starting with North Little Rock winning in 2017 before Bryant has won 4 in a row. Grant said he thought his 2020 team had what it took to knock off Bryant, but they didn't take care of business in the quarterfinals against KAFT. He feels this year's team is just as good as that 2020 squad, if not better. And Grant said today it is all about executing the game plan.
Thank you, Dorian. And, you know, it's pretty interesting that all the Northwest Arkansas teams got together and said, okay, what do we got to do to get us title back up here?
Yeah, and they really thought they had a great chance last year. You go back to the Bryant victory over Fayetteville, 42-38. The Purple Dogs had 3 turnovers in the red zone, still had a chance on the last play of the game. So the gap, maybe it's closing a little bit, but Bryant's ready to kick that door back open and win championship number 5 in a row tonight.
And let's talk about that just for a moment. Nobody in high school football in Arkansas in the playoff era has ever won 5 straight.
Yeah, you have to go back to Little Rock High School to the last time that anybody's ever done it at all. But in the playoff era, it's amazing what they've done. They're one of only 3 teams to ever do it at all. You have to go back to the 80s when Barton last did it, with 4 state championships in a row, and you add the fact that it's the largest classification. It's impressive. You add the fact that they've beaten Arkansas-based schools 52 times in a row, 14 of those in the playoffs. There's a reason. They are the litmus test. They are the pecking order, if you will, of Arkansas high school football.
Well, there are the Bentonville Tigers as they make their way onto the playing surface here at War Memorial Stadium, and they are the challenger tonight for the defending champs, the Bryant Hornets, as they're making their way out of the tunnel. As Bobby just talked about, 52 straight wins against Arkansas opponents, and they are the defending state champions for Class 7A. It's going to be a fun one tonight, Bobby, as both teams are making their way on, and Bryant wearing their traditional blue uniforms and Bentonville with their road white uniforms. I saw it in the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette today, Bobby, that Bryant has almost made this their second home between the Salt Bowl and state championship games. They played a lot of games here at War Memorial Stadium.
It's a short drive up the interstate, and of course you got to deal with the construction. Maybe they'll get that done eventually. But I mean, they wear out that path here to War Memorial Stadium. Doesn't matter which sideline they've been on. They've been very successful. Obviously the dominance in the Salt Bowl, the dominance here in the 7A state championship game. But what's it going to be like today with Bentonville? I think to me, RJ, the biggest factor in this game, does Bentonville limit the number of possessions, a.k.a. not turn the football over to Bryant? Bryant's defense is borderline elite of what we've seen this year. They're really good about taking the football away. Bentonville's got to protect it and value those possessions.
Well, let's go, before both teams get going, let's take a look at the weather for this one. It's going to be now I'm not going to say a cold start, but 54 degrees current temperature, could get up to around 62 by halftime. Not much wind, and the chance of rain has pretty much moved down, only about 10 to 13%, depending on the forecast that you look at. And so absolutely perfect conditions for the 7A state championship game.
A lot warmer than you would expect in the first weekend of December, but we'll take it. Perfect night. Fans are starting to trickle in. The student sections are living large. Bentonville's about to receive the opening kickoff as Bryant won the opening toss and elected to defer.
So on to kick for the Bryant Hornets. It's going to be Malachi Graham as he's got his hand in the air, back deep for Bentonville. They've got C.J. Brown. Football's in the air as Bryant won the coin toss and elected to defer to the second half. And it's taken by Tomaseko, and he'll bring it all the way out to the 31-yard line before he's finally brought down for the start of the Bentonville Tigers run here in the state title game.
So now we're going to get a look at this big Bentonville offensive line, and Coach Buck James told us this week it looks like a college offensive line. They're going to average 280, 290 up front, and of course you got to start with the big man, Joey Sua himself. He's committed to play at Arkansas, so keep an eye on him as he can move some bodies up front, that's for certain.
1st and 10 from the 26-yard line. That's where the officials officially marked him down. Forward progress was up to that point. So Bentonville will get started first. Carter Nye is the quarterback for the Tigers. He's going to look to throw early on in this one and finds a guy just on a easy little pass out in the flats to get some yardage to get this thing going.
Yeah, it's C.J. Brown. You got to find a way to get him involved in the offense early. Catch number 67, but that's also a confidence throw, RJ. It's like that first free throw that gets you rolling confidence-wise on the basketball court. That easy throw to the flat. Now it's a second and short, second play of the game.
And Bobby, one thing about state championships, nerves run high. Especially when you're taking on a 4-time defending state champion, your nerves are at an all-time high to start the ball game as they're going to run the football straight up the middle. This time it's Ficklin. Ficklin is going to go all the way up to the 43-yard line, and that'll be a first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, that's what the bread and butter for this Bentonville team is. You got to find a way to get him the football right up the middle. You can see he's a player to watch. Nearly 1,500 yards on the ground on the year. 2
wide receivers in the formation as Nye, the quarterback, has a wingback set off the right side of the formation. Just underway here in the first quarter of the 7A state championship game. And the Bryant Hornets in the backfield that time got penetration and were able to bring down for the first loss of the ball game. It's going to be a 3-yard loss to bring up second down and 13. Bobby, this is an offense or a defense for the Hornets that is only giving up 11 points a game.
Immediate pressure on the inside there from Tyler Mosley. You can see why he had 18.5 tackles for a loss coming into this contest. He just beats the right tackle off the line, off the snap, and a big play in the backfield.
Second down and 13 with the ball at the 40-yard line. Carter Nye going to fake the handoff. And he's got a man. It's his receiver out in the flats. That time for the Bentonville Tigers, that was Eli Brooks. Brooks coming into this ball game with 18 receptions for 340 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's a great job by Bryant to get out there, try to get a blocker out in front, but there's having none of it. It's great open field tackle in space. They get the carrier to the ground. That's Brendan Bennett who made the stop.
Got a diamond formation on the top side of the formation for Bentonville. Nye's going to be under pressure early. Has a play downfield, and it's broken up. That time for the Bryant Hornets, Miguel Graham came in to knock that one away, and it's 4th down for the Tigers.
Yeah, Bentonville decided to go empty backfield. Nobody back there with Nye to provide extra protection. A free runner right up the middle blew that play up from the start. Bentonville picked up a first down to start this game. Now they're forced to punt it away.
Logan Tymason on to punt for the Tigers. Back deep for the Bryant Hornets. They'll have Drake Fowler. He'll stand at the 19-yard line.
Backing up everybody on the home side, more so the people outside the team box than in the team box. So no sideline warning, just trying to get everybody settled in.
So they get everything set, and Tymason is going to put a foot into it. It's a high spiraling kick that Fowler's going to call a fair catch at the 16-yard line, and so that's where the Bryant Hornets will have it 1st and 10 for their first drive of the ball game.
So Bryant's defense weathered the early storm. Now can Bentonville do the same? Of course, the Tigers, they want to try to play for the lead. Bryant is used to playing with the lead. Now we're going to get our first look at the big stud running back, Martin. How much are they going to go to him, or maybe they use him as a decoy, maybe play action and try a big ball over the top?
Well, they're going to go with 4 wide receivers in the formation to start this first drive as Jordan Walker is the quarterback, and he'll just hand it off to Martin to start things off. And just like that good defensive line for the Bentonville Tigers didn't allow him to get much, only a 2-yard gain and that'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
That's a really nice job at the point of attack by Bentonville. They have to establish themselves up front. It's all going to start with Trevor Martinez on the defensive line for Bentonville. He's committed to play at Oklahoma State. He has to be able to control that front to allow his linebackers to get out and make plays.
You see right there the Hornet playmakers for the ball game, and they're going to send 4 wide in this formation. And Walker's going to look to throw. He'll get one, try to get it to Ganaway, but threw it behind him, and the ball is rolled into the end zone, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Bentonville Tigers. He threw it behind Ganaway. Ganaway couldn't get to it. It rolled to the end zone, and Bentonville got on top of it.
That's the one thing you can't afford to happen in that moment, RJ. That was a clear lateral, backwards pass. They are going to review it, as we do have instant replay here in the state finals, but that was a clear and obvious pass backwards in the scrum for the football in the end zone, and it looks like Bentonville's number 49, Logan Roberson, pounces on the football, and the Tigers get a huge break and an early lead.
Bobby, you can see right there off that replay, the way you can always tell with the way the player has to adjust to the football. He actually had to turn back towards the end zone, and it was a backwards pass. And so the first points are defensive points for the Bentonville Tigers, as the extra point by Tymason is oncoming.
It's just a mistake you can't make if you're Bryant. You've made that throw literally 1,000 times throughout games and practices all season, and you have the miscue at the most inopportune time of the season.
And that is good, and that's going to take us to our first break, where the Bentonville Tigers, they strike first, and they lead the Bryant Hornets 7-0. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
3, 2, 1, out.
For more than 50 years, Arkansas PBS has been a trusted resource. Our high-quality programs are seen by viewers in every corner of our state, making on-air sponsorship a solid investment. Aligning your business with Arkansas PBS offers a powerful blend of community engagement, corporate philanthropy, and cause marketing. And our viewers remember and appreciate businesses that support our programs. Contact us today for more information on sponsorship opportunities.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier, and that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us, Saline Clinics.
Now on Passport.
There's an important story that needs to be told.
It's your choice.
Choose your story.
What are you looking for in your life?
Stream even more documentaries with Passport on the PBS Video app.
Here's a look at that backwards pass once again that was just thrown behind Ganaway, and it just rolled right in the end zone, and that's the first touchdown of the ball game for the Bentonville Tigers. And now Bryant's going to get the football back, and look at this formation by the Tigers on the kickoff. This is looks like they were going to come out and try to do an onside kick, and I said, well, we'll just fake them out. But it could work to where, you've seen teams do it, and they do kick the onside kick.
If Bryant wasn't ready and didn't converge that front line together, maybe you try it.
So the kickoff is away, and it'll sail to the end zone and through the back end. And so Bryant will get it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. And Bobby, now you've got your first drive out of the way. And you and I were talking in the break, for Jordan Walker, he was not the starting quarterback last year for the Bryant Hornets. And so you think nerves, even though that they've done what they've done this year, 11-0. You got to think being in a state championship game as the starting quarterback, you might have a little bit of nerves for this one.
Yeah, you automatically assume that, this is the 5th straight year that there's no nerves. But some of these guys didn't play on the field like you're talking about. So that throw off the mark, you got to settle down. And now how can you respond?
They're going to hand it to Martin, and he'll have a running lane, and he'll get it out to the 26-yard line. Nice run that time by James Martin, who, as we talked about, came in with 606 yards of rushing yards and 17 touchdowns. Between him and Ganaway, they've equated for 1,100 yards of total offense.
You know, sometimes the quick throw, those little swing passes or a slants, the way to get your quarterback settled in. Also handing it off to a powerful running back's pretty good way to settle in too.
Walker's going to look to throw and try to keep it himself, and he'll be bottled up in the backfield. Had nowhere to go. Nice job by Bentonville as they were able to seal the edge, and leading the charge that time for the Bentonville Tigers, it was Sam Jeffis, the outside linebacker.
Yeah, great job of keeping contained on the outside and forcing the Bryant quarterback to stop his momentum going to the outside, trying to plant and come back in, and the rest of the Bentonville defense there to swarm and drop him for a loss.
There's a shot of Jordan Walker for the Hornets. He is the signal caller. And they're going to bring out 5 wide receivers in the formation. Walker will look to throw. Going to throw it down out of bounds, and that'll bring up 4th down now for the Hornets.
What coverage there by Bentonville. They only rushed 3, so they're dropping 8. And that's why he had all day to throw it, but nice job defensively to keep Bryant everything in front. You know they've got to run something past the sticks, get a first down, and Bentonville's defense has certainly rose to the challenge so far the first 4 minutes of this contest.
So on to punt is Malachi Graham for the Hornets. And it's a low snap and a nice punt that'll be taken at the 40-yard line. Working the ball is Q Brown, as he'll take it out to the 50-yard line. And so Bentonville will have great field position to start their second drive of the ball game. And they'll start from the 50-yard line here in the 7A state championship game.
If you want to join the football conversation with RJ and I, just jump on social media, use the hashtag ARPBS Sports.
Crowd still rolling in here at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Expect a big crowd for this 7A state championship game. So Bentonville is going to break their huddle. Carter Nye will be in the shotgun with Ficklin right behind him. He'll take the handoff and get back to the 50-yard line, maybe the 49. They are going to mark him at the 49, so it's a 1-yard gain.
You don't think of a drive in the first quarter as an important one, but Bentonville taking over at midfield. Your defense has already given you 2 stops, including a score. How big of confidence-wise would it be for the guys across the way in the white uniforms to get a nice drive going offensively and push that advantage to 2 scores?
So 2 wide receivers are going to line up on the left side of the formation. They fake the handoff and look to throw again, and that's just going to be off the fingertips of Karsten Pate. And that'll bring up 3rd down now for the Tigers.
Yeah, Nye just off the mark there, but he has been accurate all season long. 2,800 yards through the air, and this touchdown to interception ratio is borderline amazing. 28 touchdowns, just 3 interceptions for the Bentonville quarterback on the season.
Yeah, the efficiency rating for Carter Nye has been really out the roof, and 2,835 yards this year is what he's produced for the Tigers. 4 wide receivers in the formation. As Nye's going to roll out, and he's under duress, and he'll throw it out of bounds to bring up 4th down. And Bobby, this is one thing you're going to see out of this ball game. 2 really good defenses. You know, that defensive score for Bentonville, points are going to be hard to get in this one.
Yeah, and they've done it in different ways so far. On 3rd and long, the 2 times that Bentonville's faced it, Bryant's brought pressure right up the middle. They're trying to force Nye off the spot, make him move his feet, make a throw on the run, while Bentonville did not bring pressure. They rushed only 3, dropped 8. Kind of that chess match is going on. That's a big stop for Bryant's defense as they hold Bentonville right there in midfield.
You know, we talked about it in the onset that Bryant was only giving up 11 points a game. Bentonville was only giving up 17 points a game. And Fowler's going to be back to receive this punt, and he'll let it go over his head, bounce, and it will go out of bounds. It hit the pylon, and so that's going to be a touchback. Boy,
that's about 6 inches from being as good as it gets.
You're exactly right, and I think back to the Cam Little hit off the top of the goalpost. You don't see the ball hit the pylon or the little goalpost very often, or the pylon very often.
Yeah, you're exactly right. If that's 6 inches closer to us right here at midfield, that is a perfect punt, but a big break there for Bryant as they get to stretch it out, not under the shadow of their own goalpost.
And the Bryant coaching staff was on the field asking why the ball was in the middle of the field. They were saying it needed to be on the near hash mark, and so the officials moved the ball, and there will be 3 wide in the formation on that top side, 1 to the near side. Walker's going to look to throw, and he'll have his first completion of the ball game, but there is a penalty flag down that was thrown by the umpire. And Bobby, normally when you have that penalty flag, it's usually in the area of holding.
Yeah, if the flag flies from the umpire right in the middle of the field, it's never good for those offensive linemen. If you're also wondering why the ball's not on the actual hash, those are, of course, the college hash marks. High school hash is a little bit wider.
Our official today is Bryant Derrick.
Personal foul, hands to the face, defense. 15-yard penalty will result in a first down.
And this is why you don't assume penalties.
That's right.
Because you usually you predict holding and then you get a defensive penalty. Here's a look at the penalty.
You see it right there at the bottom of your screen. 91 got his hands up too high, and you're starting to see that a lot more in football at all levels because they're teaching defensive players to play with their hands a lot more instead of just firing off and hitting people with their helmet and their shoulders.
By the way, on that reception for the Hornets, that was Kason Trickey, who has 339 yards and 6 touchdowns for the Hornets this year. Oh. And here's Walker with a low throw, but I tell you, Bobby, if that would have been a good throw, it may have been a pick.
Yeah, it's a good thing that he short-hopped that one because J2 Tomseko was right there. He might have walked in for his second defensive score for Bentonville. So Walker might have seen that and kind of short-hopped it.
So that brings up 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. The ball's at the 35-yard line. Walker fakes the handoff, going to look to throw, and he loses the handle on the football, and he falls on it back inside the 25-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 22. That just slipped out of his hand.
Yeah, that was a clear RPO, a run-pass option. The Reed wasn't there to hand it off. He thought he saw something in the passing game, but a nice job defensively by Bentonville to jump back. And now we'll have to see what the call was. Honestly, if he threw the ball there, RJ, it would have been an illegal lineman downfield. His left guard was about 9 yards past the line of scrimmage. So yeah, they're just kind of wait and see what the call is here.
Yeah, they're over there talking with the Bentonville coaching staff.
Holding, offense. That penalty's declined. 3rd down.
Yeah, and you see it right there. The penalty is on Colm Taylor.
Yeah, you can't ask your offensive lineman to block for that long.
Yeah.
With Clemson. That's supposed to be either a run play or a quick pass, and you can't expect them to block for 3 or 4 seconds. And more times than not, you're going to get that illegal lineman downfield or a holding call, and that chance we saw both of them.
And so it's 3rd down and 21 with the ball at the 24-yard line. Walker will set up, and he'll have Martin set to his right. He's under pressure, and he got hit. And he finally gets taken down. There was, I believe, on the sack for Bentonville, it was Nick Stone who led the way.
Kind of a different defensive formation there. No one in a 3-point stance. Nobody with the hand on the ground for Bentonville. So Bryant protection maybe didn't know who was coming. And once the pocket started to break down, well, Walker had nowhere to go, and he is just swallowed up. First man to get there, as you mentioned, Rivers Wiseman, number 81.
And Stone followed that one up, and now here's the punt by Graham, and it will be taken by Q Brown at the 40-yard line, and he'll bring it up to the 50, and that's where things will end for him at the 50-yard line. You know, one thing that we've talked about, we've got great punt returners in this game, got great punters. In fact, for Bryant, their punter Malachi Graham has an average right now of 40 yards a punt, but his longest this year was 67 yards.
Now we'll see what Bentonville's offense can do. 2nd straight drive, starting with the ball at midfield. Couldn't take advantage of it last time. Only 19 yards of total offense for the Tigers. See if they can get something going here.
2 backs in the backfield, and Nye will be under center. Just a straight dive play up the middle. He'll pick up 4 yards on it to bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, we expected a slugfest, RJ, but here we are 6.5 minutes into the contest. Combined, negative 14 yards between these two teams. Bentonville was 19 yards. Bryant minus 33.
Yeah, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 6 with the ball at the 47-yard line in Bryant territory. Nye going to look to throw. Now it's a delayed handoff, and it'll be bottled up, and he'll lose a yard on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Yeah, this way too slow developing play there. They try to kind of trick the defense, if you will. Looked like Nye wasn't really sure what he was going to do, and a delayed handoff to Johnny Pike, and, well, that was read perfectly from the backside, and he had nowhere to go.
So that brings up 3rd down and 7 now for Bentonville. As Nye will be in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers in the formation. He'll look to throw, and it was almost intercepted. Coming in was Malachi Graham, who nearly got the interception that time. And, you know, Carter Nye's only thrown 3 this year, and that's a pretty special play by Graham.
Yeah, he read that one perfectly. That's also good defensive awareness, knowing that Bentonville has to get 7 yards for the first down. So squat at that first down marker, and as soon as that receiver breaks, you break with him, and that could have easily been a pick 6 going back the other direction.
So Dexter Fowler's going to line up at the 10-yard line, and on to punt is Logan Tymason. As it's a high floating punt that will be taken down at the 20-yard or 15-yard line, and that's where Bryant will have it 1st and 10. You know, field position has not been great for the Hornets, but it's been great for Bentonville so far in this one.
It really has, and now you got to rely on your offensive line and that running game if you're Bryant. The passing game's not working just yet. 0 for 2, including that lateral that resulted in the defensive touchdown. And so now you just rely on what got you here. You see the big guys up front, lean on them, try to get the nerves to settle down just a little bit. This is also a situation that Bryant's not been in a lot.
Yeah.
They haven't been behind a ton the last 4 or 5 years. So how do they handle this adversity?
So new quarterback in for the Hornets, as for Bryant, they'll put in Gideon Moats. And now we've got a penalty to start this drive, and it's a false start on the Hornets.
It's got to settle the nerves. You can tell they're just a little antsy.
False start. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
You know, there was a quarterback battle between Moats and Walker earlier this year in fall camp, and Walker won it out, but both quarterbacks have played quite a bit this year.
We'll see if the change at quarterback can kind of change their luck a little bit. And you don't think about it, RJ, but as a former offensive lineman, I can tell you when you get a different quarterback and a different cadence and a different voice calling the snap count, sometimes you're going to false start like that.
Here's Martin with the football, and he'll have a nice run out to the 15-yard line. And for the Hornets, that's a 4-yard gain. Bring up 2nd down. We're down to 4:10 left here in the first quarter.
I think Bryant just needs to get a couple first downs to try to flip field position. You can't keep asking your defense to get stops right at the midfield stripe.
Bryant's only had 1 first down so far in this game. So Moats is in, 3 wide receivers to that right side. Martin's lined up to his left. Moats going to look to throw now, run. We've got a penalty flag down at the 15-yard line. And we'll see what the call is.
I like the design of that play call. It looks like it's going to be a screen set up so the defense kind of flows that way, and all of a sudden the quarterback just kind of peels off behind it. That looked like it had a chance to be a big game, but again, that flag not in a good spot for the offense.
Holding. Offense. Penalties half to the goal. Replay 2nd down.
You know, right now, not only are jitters going, but penalties are killing Bryant right now.
Yeah, as soon as that play gives them a little momentum, they have to march it right back. So they've got to settle down in all phases, mentally and physically. Trust what got you here, because you see that the big play setup had blockers out in front. It's got to be fundamentally sound.
That penalty was called on Cairo Terry. And so now it brings up 2nd down and long for the Bryant Hornets as Gideon Moats is in the shotgun. Moats is going to roll right. He's in his own end zone, being chased, and he throws it away. And I don't know if is that going to be intentional grounding.
Yeah, he's out of the pocket. He was getting hit as that one was let go, and so that affected the throw. And of course, that's what you can't call grounding on that.
So that brings up now 3rd down and long for the Bryant Hornets. And boy, this Bentonville defense they are rolling right now, as you see Walker on the sidelines for the Bryant Hornets.
That's great pursuit by the backside defensive end there to not give up on the play, force the quarterback to hurry that one, and gets the QB hit. Now it's 3rd and long again for Bryant.
3rd and 17 officially with the ball at the 12-yard line. Moats rolls right. Going to look to throw deep. And it's going to be thrown out of bounds. And he didn't get that, so it's a punting situation for the Hornets.
Yeah, again, good pressure. We've seen Moats now, and when pressure starts to get there, he's going to roll out to his right side. Bentonville recognized that almost like a quarterback spy, had a linebacker kind of trailing there, had to force that throw a little earlier than he wanted to. You can see him kind of come in the screen, and that one just floats out of bounds, and another punt from deep in their own territory for Bryant.
And once again, Bentonville's going to get great field position, as the punt is going to be a line drive end over end, and it's taken by Q Brown. Brown's up to 40 and has a running lane, and Bentonville's going to have great field position from the 37-yard line to start this drive.
Yeah, Brown's done a really nice job. His third punt return, I believe all three have gone for at least 10 yards, so he's doing a great job on special teams, giving his offense a chance to get something going. Again, I think we're asking too much of them now. Can Bryant's defense again rise to the challenge, this time starting to drive inside their own 40?
We'll check in with Dorian Kraft here in a little bit, talk about some defensive changes for Bentonville, as they have been really good so far. As back on the field is Carter Nye. In motion goes Kuhn, and Nye's under pressure. He's going to take off and run with it, and he'll run out of bounds at the 34-yard line to bring up second down. You know, Nye's not a guy that runs a whole lot. He's really, I think he's got 39 yards on the year rushing, and so he really likes to stay in the pocket and throw.
Yeah, that's a nice decision there by Carter Nye. Not force anything down the field, take advantage of the great field position, pick up what you can, 2 or 3 yards, live to fight another down.
Here's a handoff to Ficklin, and he has nowhere to go, as they'll mark him down at the 33.
That was 2 high-level plays right there. It's a great cut by Josh Ficklin. It looked like there was going to be a lot of room to the outside, but the closing speed of Traylon Russ, the senior, number 22 for Bryant, closed in a hurry and held that to a minimal gain.
So it's 3rd down and 6 with the ball at the 33-yard line.
These are all body blows, right, RJ?
Yeah.
Both sides. I mean, this is like the heavyweight fight, and we're just wearing on those ribs. Yeah. At some point, something's got to give.
Well, and we're only in the first quarter still.
That's right.
And I feel like we've played a full half so far. As Nye's going to roll out, looks to throw back, and he'll have a man who's throwing it to an offensive lineman who was downfield.
Yeah, that's what I think. That's what they did with these 2 flags that came in late. That's going to be a legal lineman downfield. If he was eligible to catch that, that'd have been a big play. But the big fella, sorry, you're not allowed to jump down there.
Let's give him his due. It's Trayson Hunt, who he didn't know the ball was coming to him.
Yeah. So for Bryant, this is a tough situation. Do you want 4th and 6 or 3rd and 11?
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
I think you force the 4th down and just get Bentonville off the field, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of maybe 4-down territory, and maybe right outside the range of Tymason, who had kicked the game winner against Cabot last week. In the final 10 seconds, the ball's at the 33, so this would be about a 50-yard field goal, so probably just a touchdown of the range. So Bentonville's going to roll the dice and go for it on 4th down.
And I think you've got to like your defense for the Hornets. I mean, they've done almost a perfect job so far up to this point. Here's a 4th down for the Bentonville Tigers. Nye is going to look to throw. He'll go across the middle, and it's incomplete, in and out of the hands of his intended target, Q Brown. And so it'll be a turnover on downs. And Bobby, this might be the best field position Bryant's had so far in this game.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And that's a pass that Brown has to catch. I mean, that ball is perfect protection. Nice job by Ficklin, the running back, to give him extra time. I know he's got to elevate, but he gets 2 hands on the football. That's a big 4th down play that goes Bryant's way. And now can their offense take advantage of it?
So the ball will be at the 33-yard line.
That was by far, though, RJ, the best protection that he's gotten all night.
Yeah.
Bryant's been in the backfield a lot defensively. That time, Nye had time to throw it, made a nice throw. Receivers didn't help him out.
Gideon Moats back out there at quarterback for the Hornets as they hand it off, and Martin will be drugged down. Oh, no, excuse me, that's Ganaway, and Ganaway will be drugged down at the 33-yard line. He had no gain, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's a nice job by Rivers. Wiseman, 81 again for Bentonville, to recognize the counter play. He's the linebacker on the backside, and he just chases that straight down the line, takes him down for no gain.
So Moats in the shotgun. Gonna look to throw across the middle. has a man, and it's incomplete that time, trying to hook up with Mytorian Singleton, who was in one-on-one coverage, and really good coverage that time by the Tigers.
Yeah, nice job by Eli Estes. Looks like he got there at right about the same time as the football did and broke it up because that was about to be a big play. And a really nice coverage down the middle of the field, one-on-one battle.
So now it's 3rd down and 10 from the 33.
It's the first big shot they've taken down the field with protection.
Yeah, I mean, he had time.
We've seen it on 3rd and long a couple times with the pressure breaking down, the pocket breaking down. But that time, Moats had time, delivered a nice ball, just a great defensive play.
So Gideon Moats, he'll have Ganaway lined up to his left. Drops back to pass, going to look to throw. Steps up in the pocket, going to run with it. Out past the 40, still on his feet, picks up the first down. Out past the 45, it'll be taken down at the 48-yard line. And that's really the best play for the Hornets so far in the game.
Yeah, that's a great job by Gideon Moats to recognize the defense had the back turned. The pocket was starting to break down, make some guys miss with his legs. Big-time play there by the quarterback, and then we've got a stoppage. Looks like a chain issue on the far side.
While we've got a stoppage, let's head down to Dorian Kraft and talk about some defensive changes for the Bentonville Tigers. They have really been impressive in this one, Dorian.
Well, Bentonville, after giving up 90 points in the first 2 weeks, made some defensive changes. Head coach Jody Grant said that had to do with some personnel issues, but a lot of it had to do with the way that Grant coached practice. He said in the beginning of the season, he was whistling a lot of plays at practice dead early to try to prevent injury. He started letting players play through to the end, tackle live, and that's when he really saw them start to come alive and play the type of defense that Bentonville is known for playing.
Thank you, Dorian, as Ganaway is going to take it right side, and it's a good run out to the 45-yard line in Bentonville territory, and that'll bring up 2nd down now for the Hornets.
That's the best design run we've seen up to this point, so that Bryant offensive line start to settle in, see if they can get Ganaway involved.
Ganaway once again reverses field back up the middle, and that'll be very close to a 1st down. It all depends on the spot if he got it, as they're marking him down at the 42-yard line.
Really nice cutback by Ganaway to recognize that the flow was going to the outside, puts his foot in the ground, and gets what he can, and right near the marker, and it looks like we may have a timeout for a measurement.
Yeah, they're going to bring the chains on and get the spot. Yeah, and you know, on that replay for Singleton, he was going right. That play was designed off of right tackle, and he cut it back up to get extra yardage.
Yeah, that's good awareness to recognize as they stretch it out and they get the 1st down, to recognize the flow of the defense is going out there, and that cutback lane shows up. He picks up the necessary 3 yards and moves the chains.
So Bryant, for the first time in Bentonville territory in this game, as we've got 46 seconds to play in the quarter. It's 1st and 10 for the Hornets from the 42-yard line.
That was a good look at those D linemen up front. 58, Aiden Lynch, 67, Trevor Martinez. Bentonville needs them to have their best game of the season if they want a chance to knock off the 4-time defending champs.
3 wide to the near side as Moats going to hand it once again, this time to Martin, and he'll get it to the 40-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain.
Yeah, 16, Sam Jeffis, the first one to make contact around the ankles and let the defensive line finish him off.
Clock's rolling down to 15 seconds in the quarter.
Bryant yet to complete a pass in this contest.
Here's the fake. No, Martin's going to take it himself, and he'll carry 2 Bentonville Tigers and pick up 4 yards on the play, and that's going to do it for the first quarter of play, where the Bentonville Tigers, they end the first quarter of play with the first score. It's 7-0. The Bentonville Tigers lead the Bryant Hornets. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Since 1999, we've been with you every step of the way. From your first savings account, to graduation, to your first home. Centennial Bank is here to walk with you into the future. Though we've grown, Arkansas is still our home. We're still local bankers invested in our communities, here to help you however we can. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We'll be here when you need us. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier, and that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us, Saline Clinics.
Don't forget, you can join our conversation on social media. Just use the hashtag ARPBS Sports. RJ will respond to you.
Yeah, the conversation right now is the fact that the Bentonville Tigers and the Bryant Hornets have been playing outstanding defense through the first quarter of play, and the Tigers lead at 7-0. In the 7A state championship game in Little Rock. And Gideon Moats, the quarterback, going to keep it himself straight up the middle. Has a nice running lane. Out past the 25 to the 20. Still on his feet. He goes out of bounds at the 16, 17-yard line.
That's a great job by Moats to recognize the backside defensive end. Did not keep contained on that option read. So he just pulls it from his running back's belly, keeps it. That's the biggest play of the game so far for Bryant. Now they're in the red zone.
First time tonight for the Hornets in the red zone. Gideon Moats will have James Martin set up to his left. Moats going to keep it himself once again. Makes a man miss and is driving for that end zone. Boy, he is running really, really well with the football as he takes it down to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, this is an element that Bentonville hasn't figured out just yet. So that's 3 straight runs from Moats. 1 was the quarterback scramble, now 2 design option reads. Tigers going to have to figure that out as Bryant's knocking on the door, 1st and goal.
At the 5-yard line. Tight formation at the line of scrimmage. Gonna hand it to Martin. Martin straight ahead, and the Tigers are right there. They get him at the 4, but boy, that defensive line, Bobby, for Bentonville is really, really good.
Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding. You try to go right at the teeth, the middle of this Bentonville defensive line. More times than not, you're going to get shut down. Gideon Moats, RJ, to further your point, 3 carries, 46 yards. I mean, he's been all of the offense that Bryant's been mustered today.
So this time Martin's going to line up to the right of Moats. They're going to pitch it right side. Still on his feet to Singleton, and he'll walk in the end zone for the touchdown. Torian Singleton for the first score for the Bryant Hornets.
That's a great job by Singleton. Looked like he was going to get stopped short of the goal line, but ran through an arm tackle, and he's been a guy that's made a lot of big plays in this championship game. Going back to last year, impressive to see him break that tackle, and now they're a PA2 away from tying this contest
Look
up.
at that, bouncing off Bentonville Tigers and into the end zone. The junior got into the end zone for the score. The extra point is up, and it is good by Stephen Fuller, and we've got a tie ball game with 10:44 to play in the second quarter. And I tell you what, really the defensive pressure that time, Bryant was not worried about it because they got their quarterback running.
Yeah, the quarterback run changes everything. No matter who you are or where you play, at what level, the quarterback run changes everything. We've seen it at the pro level, of course, with what Jalen Hurts has been able to do, Kyler Murray, the list goes on and on, maybe even to the level of Patrick Mahomes. Of course, we know about in the college game. Your defense cannot over-pursue when you've got quarterback run, and Bryant breaks that on that drive. 3 big carries by Moats, and they take advantage of the quick speed sweep, and then Singleton caps off the drive.
So Josh Ficklin's going to be back for Bentonville, along with Q Brown. And on to kick will be Malachi Graham. Also back deep for Bentonville, they'll send JT Tomesco.
So now we've seen what Bryant's offense can do. They finally settled down. Can Bentonville figure out an answer for this stiff Bryant defense?
This is going to go to Demesco on the 9-yard line. And he'll have a running lane before finally being taken down. That time for the Hornets coming in to make the stop, it was J.T. Allen, a sophomore. And so Bentonville will have it 1st and 10. As they're going to spot the ball at the 28-yard line.
I'd like to see Bentonville get the passing game going. Just 2 of 8 for 12 yards up to this point. And that first completion for 8 yards. So since the first play of the contest, RJ, 1 of 7 through the air for just 4 yards.
Carter Nye is going to be in the shotgun. He'll have Ficklin in right beside him. 2 wide receivers to the near side of the formation. Going to hand it to Ficklin. He'll work it right side. By far his best run of the night is he'll pick up 8 yards on the play, maybe 9 depending on where the spot is. But that's just right off right tackle that time.
Yeah, just following the big guys up front. And like you said, by far Ficklin's best run of the night, right behind big 67 Trevor Martinez on the right side.
It is officially a 9-yard run to make it 2nd down and 1. 4 down linemen for the Bryant Hornets. Nye's going to look to throw, has a man, works it left side to C.J. Brown, picks up the 1st down as he steps out of bounds past the 40 to the 41.
Yeah, quick, easy throw there. Just recognize that coverage is playing off. Brown just goes about 3 yards, turns around, ball hits him right in the number. Easy 1st down. I was going to say between the numbers, but he only has 1 number.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers as they'll line up 3 wide to the near side. And Ficklin's going to take it once again. No, that's actually Jason Gilmore who ran it that time out to the 50-yard line. Another big-time run for the Tigers.
That hole was massive as Bentonville's now going to go with a little tempo.
Gilmore still in there. They're going to go with a backwards pass. This time it's to C.J. Brown, and Brown has nowhere to go as they lose yardage on the play. Back into their own territory. They're going to officially spot it down at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, big play on 1st down. He tried to change the pace of the game just a little bit, but Bryant's defense does a great job of reacting to a little swing pass to Brown, drop him in the backfield for a loss of a couple.
That brings up 3rd down and 3 now with the ball at the 48. They've got to get it to the Bryant 49-yard line for the 1st down.
That stat on your screen kind of says it all, doesn't it, RJ?
Yeah, that's some good defense.
It is just a slugfest out there.
And now we've got whistles, and it looks like Bentonville's going to call a timeout.
This is a big play. Well, this is where drives have been stalling out for the Tigers. Try to take advantage of, again, good field position right near the midfield stripe. It's in that area, 3rd and 3. Wouldn't be surprised if they turn around and hand it to Ficklin. 1,500-yard rusher.
You know, I was looking defensively for Bryant. On 3rd down this year, they've allowed opponents to only be successful 25% of the time this year. For Bentonville, they've completed 39% of their 3rd downs this year.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it takes, though. Good teams can find a way to get it done on 3rd down, offensively and defensively. As we take a look at it here, I mean, these numbers kind of speak for themselves, and it's all about pressure and making plays in the backfield. 2 sacks for Bentonville, already 6 tackles for loss for Bryant. I mean, these teams swarm to the football. And, I mean, we knew this was going to be a struggle, RJ, and that's why we're here locked at 7.
But you know what? I don't know about you. I love the shootouts, but I also like good defensive ball games when it's good defense. And when it's not just bad offense, it's good defense. It's a lot of fun to watch. And there's going to be a penalty flag on the Bryant Hornets. They jumped into the neutral zone that time. For the Hornets, it was Malachi Graham on the outside who jumped in the neutral zone.
And, you know, that one's going to wear out Buck James and his defensive coaches coming out of the timeout. And I guarantee the last thing they said coming out of the huddle, watch the football, don't give them a free 1st down with a penalty. And that's exactly what Bentonville forced them to do.
So they've got it 1st and 10 in Bryant territory at the 47-yard line. Carter Nye is in the shotgun. He'll bring a man in motion and going to look to throw early on. He'll find a man. Left side it goes, and that time was able to hook up with Q Brown.
I like what Bentonville's doing with the passing game. They're not asking their offensive line to block for 3 or 4 seconds. Just quick hitches, quick out routes. Get the ball to Brown, because if he makes a man miss on the outside, that's when the big plays can happen.
So that brings up second down for the Tigers, 2nd and 5 after that 5-yard pickup. There'll be 3 receivers to the right side of the formation. Nye's going to look to throw again. Can't find anybody. Now comes back across the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended target. That was Luke Kuhn, who he was wide open, but he looked upfield way too fast.
Yeah, I've got a flag right in the middle of the field, a little farther beyond the line of scrimmage. So we'll have to see what this one is indicating.
Was it another illegal man downfield?
Bryant's pointing that way.
Ineligible receiver downfield, offense. The penalties decline. 3rd down.
That's the second one of those today for the Bentonville Tigers.
Yep, so again, they decline a penalty to set up a 3rd medium. Last time it was a 3rd down penalty that's forced a 4th down. So that shows you the confidence that Coach Buck James has in his defense, as he should. They've given up just 51 yards of total offense through a quarter and a 4th, maybe a 3rd. Yeah. I'm not good at math.
As it's 3rd down and 5 from the 42. Nye going to look to throw again. Going across the middle, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted by Malachi Graham. He's got a running lane, right side. Stays on his feet. Out to the 20-yard line. 1 man to beat. Still going. Touchdown. Malachi Graham. It's a pick 6 for the Bryant Hornets. Now 2 defensive touchdowns in the ball game.
When he let that one go, RG, I kind of let out a grunt because he threw that right in the middle of triple coverage, and his receiver had no chance of getting to that football. And a great defensive play. Malachi Graham goes off for 77-yard interception return for a touchdown, and just like that, the momentum has swung to the Hornets.
And how about the fact that watch how he had a tight walk the sideline, and he bounced back to avoid not 1, but 2 players as he was running in. And the extra point is up and good by 4. It makes it a Bryant Hornet 14-7 lead. We'll take a break as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Coming up at the half, we show you a heartwarming story about maybe the greatest fan in all of Arkansas.
Student all-stars from all the high school classifications.
And we'll have a look at a former NFL player coming back to coach in the Delta.
It's all coming up on the halftime show. See you then.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau Insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier, and that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us, Saline Clinics.
Okay, Frisbee, let's remember, it's 1 bark for true and no barks for false. Arkansas PBS is Arkansas's largest classroom.
Bark!
Frisbee didn't eat my slippers. Oh, Frisbee, how could you?
No, I'm sorry, Miss House. I was gonna tell you, but it slipped my mind.
Please don't let it slip your mind and donate to Arkansas PBS today.
Bark!
Here's a look at the pick 6 by Malachi Graham. Once again, that's only the 4th interception that Carter Nye has thrown this year, Bobby.
Yeah, just tried to force that one down the field. It's 3rd down. Trying to make a play. The passing game just hasn't been there for Bentonville to this point. But you can't force it against a defense with a talent like Bentonville. And you can tell that Malachi Graham knows what to do when he's got the football in his hands. 77 and nothing but taillights to the house.
So Fuller on to kick off. It's going to be a high, short kick taken at the 13-yard line. And this time it's brought up by Bentonville's JT Temesco, and Temesco is going to bring it out to the 39-yard line. That's where Bentonville's going to have it first and 10. First and 10.
Well, the return unit's been there for Bentonville. They're giving up great field position for their offense. Can they take advantage? If you love seeing these high school championships on your television, please consider making a gift to Arkansas PBS today.
So it's first and 10 from the 39-yard line. 8:30 to play here in the first half, where the Bryant Hornets just have taken the lead 14-7 over Bentonville.
Average starting field position has been outstanding for the Tigers. They just haven't been able to take advantage, RJ.
Here's a handoff to Ficklin, and he has nowhere to go. Actually, may lose a yard on the play. And Bobby, you know, I know you played on the offensive line in college, but you've got to be really impressed, though, with this defensive line, not just for Bryant, but for Bentonville as well.
Yeah, because both of these teams heard all week that the strength of their opposition was the offensive line, how they run the football, how they protect their quarterback, and that's a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, when you're challenged like that, you got to kind of bow your neck and go out and play well. And the Bryant defensive front has certainly done that up to this point.
Well, and you look at the offensive line, you got Joey Sua and Trevor Martinez for Bentonville, both going FBS football, their commitments to U of A and Oklahoma State. So it's second down and 10. Man comes in motion from left to right. And Nye's going to look to throw, and he's under pressure. Throws it into the flats and just one-hops his wide receiver, Josh Ficklin, who came out of the backfield. And that'll bring up third down, but the pressure right there, Bobby, right up the middle. Nobody touched the middle linebacker for Bryant.
Yeah, it's just been constant pressure right up the middle. As you mentioned, 52 running free for Bryant. Sebastian Oltmans almost had a clear shot on Nye, able to dump it off short of his running back. I think if you're Bentonville, you got to start to test the edges, the perimeter of this defense, because there's clearly this tough sledding up the middle.
So it's third down for the Tigers. They're going to put 4 wide in the formation, 3 to the top side.
They're bringing pressure again up the middle.
Nye's going to roll right. Here comes the pressure. Tried to set up a screen, but he just throws it short, and that'll bring up fourth down. And Bobby, that might be the magic potion against Nye, is just really bring the house. And man, you can't do it every time because the middle of the field will be open, but on this drive in particular, the pressure really got to Nye.
Yeah, they've clearly found something in the protection for Bentonville. That was just a double-A blitz. Both linebackers on each side of the center. They're just bringing the house, forced the quarterback Nye to roll to his right, not near enough arm strength to get that rolling to his outside, the far sideline, and Bentonville forced to punt again.
Tymason on to kick for Bentonville. Back deep, Drake Fowler, excuse me. As the punt is a good one, and it'll sail to the 30-yard line, take a bounce, take a Bentonville roll all the way down to the 15-yard line, and that's where Bryant is going to have it first and 10. Only one drive for the Hornets today that has been actually good starting field position.
And they were able to punch that in with the score. So now, last time out, it was the quarterback run game for Bryant was successful with Gideon Moats. 3 carries, 46 yards, a long of 19. Now Bentonville has to make the adjustment to find a way to slow down that QB run, but there's a flag on that far side of the field, RJ, and the guys in the vertical stripes, which are slimming, are talking about it.
During the return, holding on the return team. Penalties 10 yards, first down.
So much for that good field position.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, real quick, let's go down to Dorian Kraft. Dorian, I think the extra week of practice for the Bryant Hornets has paid off.
It's not just this particular week of practice. It's the accumulation of the week of practice leading into championship games that head coach Buck James really credits with the fact that Bryant has catapulted into a state power. He said it's better than spring football because he can bring the younger kids up. They get an extra week of practice. The team gets ready for not just the championship game, but what they're going to see next season. And this group of seniors, they've seen 20 to 25 extra practices over anybody else in the state. And so head coach Buck James really crediting this extra week for Bryant's success over the last 5 seasons.
Thank you, Dorian. Where the Hornets now bring the offense back out. The ball's going to be spotted at the 7-yard line. It'll be first and 10. And Gideon Moats is back in the ball game. He's going to look to throw early, and That time just overthrew Mytorian Singleton on first down.
To kind of cap off what Dorian was talking about there, that's like the bowl practice in the college level. You get an extra month of practice. Yes, that's big for your current team, but how big is that for those 9th graders, those 10th graders who've been on the practice squad all season long to get an extra month of work? And that's why over the course of 4 or 5 seasons, you're talking about an extra, 3 months of practice, and that's why the good just continue to be good.
Get in Moats. In the shotgun, look to throw. He's got a man that's over the left side, and that time hooked up with, I believe that was Donald Miller, who was able to take it all the way out to the 14-yard line. That brings up 3rd and short now for the Hornets.
It's a big play for the Bentonville defense. You've given up a couple scores, one on offense, one on defense. To get a stop here, give your offense a good field position again, and try to get back into this contest.
So 3rd down and 4 with the ball at the 14-yard line as clock rolls at 6:40 and counting.
Yeah, we haven't had to worry about the play clock so much tonight, RJ, but it's down under 8.
Gideon Moats going to hand it to Martin. Martin has a big running lane, and he'll be taken down at the 24-yard line. In comes a penalty flag at the very end of that play. And we'll see what it is. He's got the first down and much more. And I believe they're going to walk back the spot to the 23-yard line. Let's see what the officials have to say.
I like the play call of going draw play on 3rd and medium.
Personal foul, face mask, defense. 15 yards added on the end of the run. First down.
Big penalty there, RJ. Bentonville's defense has a chance to get off the field. With the 3rd down defensive stop, they can't get it now. Tack on 15 more, and the Bryant Hornets have certainly flipped field position.
Here's a look at it, and yeah, he got the bottom part of that mask, and when he was being taken down, and so that's a personal foul, and it brings the Hornets out to the 38-yard line. Moat's going to look to throw again, going big ball down the middle of the field, get away, and it's in and out of his hands. He had to turn around on his backside. And it's an incomplete pass to bring up 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that's maybe where the running back doesn't have a lot of experience chasing the ball down the field and looking up into the lights. But Bryant's clearly seeing something in the deep middle of the Bentonville defense that they're trying to exploit. It's the 3rd time they've taken a deep shot down the middle, and all 3 have fallen incomplete, though.
Bobby, that's a hard pass to try to catch.
Yeah.
When you're expecting it on one side, you have to turn back and try to catch it, almost like a Willie Mays type catch.
And not to mention the light angle is completely different playing here at War Memorial Stadium compared to a normal high school field. So a lot of factors going into that ball hitting turf.
2nd down and 10. Now we've got penalty flags, and it looks like somebody on that offensive line moved for Bryant.
It's going to be the 5th penalty of the contest if this is on Bryant. There's 2 accepted penalties on Bentonville.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 2nd down.
So 5 for 29 yards against Bryant, 2 for 30 yards against Bentonville, both personal fouls.
So it's 2nd down and 15 as Martin's got it. He'll go left side, just knocks a defender off of him. Still running out to the 43-yard line. Boy, the stiff arm that he gave a Bentonville defender just to push him off and keep going, that's a big-time move.
Yeah, it looked like Martin was dead to rights right near the line of scrimmage, but instead he shucks one defender, breaks another tackle, and flips the chains, and now it's 3rd and manageable for the Hornets.
Brings up 3rd down and 5. 10-yard pickup for James Martin. And the clock's rolling at 5:36. Gideon Moats has 2 backs on that left side. And he's going to look to throw. Moats has all day. Steps up. Throws. Has a man. Inside the 45-yard line into Bentonville territory. It's another 1st down.
That's a great job by Moats to recognize the first read's not there. They're trying to get Singleton on the fake speed sweep to get him in the flat. He had a couple blockers out there, but that was covered. So he comes back in his progression and hits his streaking receiver right across the middle, Donald Miller, to move the chains.
Donald, he was open for a good chunk. probably 10 yards. And you saw where he was just throwing that hand out there, throw it to me. And so now Bryant's in Bentonville territory. It's 1st and 10 at the 42.
What a great job of poise and the composure by the young quarterback who hasn't got a ton of reps this year.
Martin across the 40-yard line. They're going to mark his forward progress at the 40. So that brings up 2nd down now after a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd down and 8 at the 40-yard line.
Bentonville's defense has to stiffen here. They can't give up another 1st down. They got to find a way to get off the field, give their offense a chance to tie this up before the break, because falling down 2 scores to a team that has a defensive unit like Bryant does, that's not a recipe for success.
Moats going to take the shotgun snap, look to throw. Has his man Ganaway, and Ganaway's going to stay in bounds as he's inside the 35-yard line to the 34.
Yeah, going to bring up another 3rd and short. And Bentonville going to make a substitution on that defensive front. Martinez goes out, so we'll see if they can take advantage of the Oklahoma State commit not on the field.
They're going to bring in their big package as Martin is going to come in the ball game. They've also got, I believe, Bobby, that's Ivory Gilmore who's in there for the big package as the fullback. They give it to Martin, stutter steps, moves it back up the middle, gets the 1st down inside the 30-yard line to the 28.
Yeah, it's a great job up front. Bryant just moves the line of scrimmage, gives their running back Martin a couple of different holes to pick from. He hops to his left, moves the chains.
They're going to move the ball back to the 29-yard line, where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Hornets, as we're under 4 minutes to play here in the 1st half.
It's kind of methodically moving the ball down the field on this drive. Most time possession they've been able to chew up so far.
Gideon Moats, the quarterback, going to look to throw. He's going to step up under pressure, reverses field, gets out past the 25. Bobby, that, in basketball, whenever they kind of do a crossover and juke somebody out, that's exactly what Gideon Moats did as he was under pressure.
Yeah, it almost looked like he was just going in slow motion and just put his foot in the ground and made the Bentonville defender just kind of fly by him, didn't even get a hand on him, maybe. And he was able to scramble out and pick up about 5.
So it's 2nd down and 4 officially, where they mark the ball at the 24-yard line. 3 wide to that left side. They're going to hand it off. This is to Ganaway inside the 20. He'll get the 1st down to the 18-yard line.
It's a nice job by Ganaway just to stretch that out as much as he possibly can. Trust his blockers, and as you mentioned, moves the chains one more time. 10th 1st down in this contest, and you got to remember, Bryant was going the wrong direction for the first half of that first period.
Yeah, it's been all Bryant here in the 2nd quarter. As Moats going to fake the handoff, look to throw, and he throws it behind his intended target. That time trying to hook up with his wide receiver, and that was Kason Tricky.
Yeah, trying to hit Tricky, who's got 6 touchdown catches on the season. I don't know if the Bentonville defense took the play fake or what, but Tricky was wide open, and Moats just missed him.
2nd down and 10. As Ganaway is going to line up to the left of Gideon. They're going to throw it right side. Almost, it is intercepted, and it's taken out to the 15-yard line. Trying to hook up with Tricky again. Almost looks like the same exact play, Bobby.
Yeah, just trying to force it too much. Sometimes you just got to hand it off and live to fight another down. But Moats got a falling back, felt the pressure, and left that one fly. Just not great footwork, and then tries to force it in, as you mentioned, picked off by the defense. I believe that's JT Tomseko, who picks it off at a huge stop for the Bentonville defense.
It was actually Eli Estes, wasn't it? No, it was Tomseko who was able to pick that ball off, and so now Bentonville is going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 15-yard line with 2:39 to play here in the 1st half.
It's a great job just to recognize that. You get burned on the previous play, you live to fight another down defensively, jump the route, and get a big pick.
Nye going to hand it off to Ficklin, and Ficklin has nowhere to go. Got a couple yards on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
If you're Bentonville on this drive, RJ, you've got one goal, and that's not to give the ball back to Bryant before the final 2:20 tick off this clock. You've got to, no matter what you have to do, find a way to go put points on the board or not. No way you can give the ball back to Bryant on a short field.
Second down and 7 yards officially, and so it was a 3-yard gain. As Nye's going to look to throw, has a man out in the flats, and that time hooking up with C.J. Brown, and that's enough for the first down, I believe, because they got it to the 25-yard line, and that's where the sticks were, and it is. So they're going to move those chains with 2 minutes to play here in the first half.
That's a great job by Brown, just recognizing where he needed to get to. Nice, breaks off his route right at the marker. And that's catch number 4 for him on the evening for about 17 yards. No big plays just yet. He moves the chains.
1st and 10 with the ball at the 25-yard line. Ficklin with the handoff, and he will stay on his feet out to the 29-yard line. 4-yard gain for Ficklin. And the clock will roll under 2 minutes here in the first half.
Still a little too early to get in the no huddle or the hurry up mode, if you will, RJ. Just try to move the ball down the field, pick up another first down, then you try to pick up the pace.
Now Nye trying to go big ball right side. Has a man down to the 49-yard line. That time for Bentonville, hooking up with Luke Kuhn. And they're going to officially spot him down at the 50-yard line. That's really the first big play for the Tigers.
Now you pick up the pace. Nice job to go back shoulder. Kuhn makes the adjustment, makes the big play.
Fakes the handoff, backwards pass, and this time got it into the hands of Brown, and Brown just took off and ran with it and got about a yard on the play. It was set up to possibly throw it downfield by Brown, and he saw nothing was open, and so he ran with it, and they're going to mark him down at the Bryant 49-yard line.
That's a great job by Brown. A lot of times you see that trick play, they're going to throw it no matter what, right? He recognizes it's not there, and he takes just the 1 yard and force a second down.
It does stop the clock at 1:16 as they're at the Bryant 49-yard line. It's 2nd down and 9. Nye going to look to throw again. Gets it left side to Brown. He steps out of bounds, and he'll go out of bounds at the 43-yard line. It's short of the first down by 3 yards, and so that brings up 3rd down now.
Here's the chess match you've got. So do you give Brown 5 yards every time, or do you try to inch up and let him, potentially he beat you over the top? That's what Bryant's kind of toying with right now. We're going to give you that 5 or 6 yard hitch or the out route, but we're not going to give Brown anything deep over the top of our head.
Carter Nye has Ficklin lined up to his right. It's 3rd down. Going to fake the handoff, going to look to throw under pressure. Still rolling, and it's incomplete. And that brings up 4th down now for the Bentonville Tigers with 1:06 to play in the first half. Bobby, decision time.
I think this is a real decision. You've got 4th and 3. To me there, RJ, if you know you're going to go for it, you're thinking about going for it, I would have ran the football, give Ficklin the ball, have a chance to get for it, but Bentonville's not wasting any time. They're going to go.
It's 4th and 3 as Carter Nye is in the shotgun. 2 wide receivers on the right side of the formation, going with the hard count, trying to draw Bryant off sides. And he's going to back up like he's going to do a pooch kick. He'll line up the 50, and now we've got an offensive lineman for Bentonville that jumps. That's worst case scenario.
Yep. That's exactly what you don't want to happen. You're trying to get Bryant to jump, which they've already done once in this contest. But that time the left tackle, Sua,
4th down.
Not moving. When you're out there on an island, RJ, it's not a great feeling. The big man moves, and now Bentonville is going to have to be forced to punt.
Now Logan Tymason going to come on. And, Bobby, I mean, think about this, though. That's a big-time stop for the Hornets because the momentum was kind of it was slowly going with the Tigers.
Yeah, their defense got an interception. You pick up a couple first downs. The passing game's starting to get a little momentum. You cross midfield. And you're exactly right, RJ. A big stop right before the half. Now 1:06 left. All 3 timeouts left for Bryant. We'll see if the Hornets try to get anything going.
As the punt is away, it's a beauty. And Fowler's going to fair catch it. He bobbles it and falls on it down the 9. Whew. He fair caught it. He was calling for the fair catch at the 12. He bobbled it. Now the Hornets will have it at the 9-yard line with 58 seconds left here in the first half.
Yeah, with a 14-7 lead, if you're Buck James, maybe you're thinking about, okay, let's just take a knee and get this one into the half. Bentonville has 2 timeouts, so they can force you to snap it a few times. But when you're inside your own 5, you don't want to take many chances.
And the Hornets did defer in the first half, so they will get the ball out of the halftime locker room, as they will have it 1st and 10 from the 9-yard line.
I might just hand it off here, see what you get on first down, and maybe be content with the 7-point lead at the break.
So James Martin in at running back for the Hornets. He sets up to the right side of Gideon Moats, and they'll hand it to him. And Martin straight ahead out to the 15-yard line. Picks up a first down, gets 11 on that run.
So maybe you quickly get to the line, hand it off again, and see what happens.
You don't want to throw something that's going to get you an interception and give Bentonville some time to score as the clock's rolling at 46 seconds.
Yeah, Bryant clearly not in any hurry here. They do have to snap it at least once more.
Moats takes a low snap, and he's going to look to throw. Going big ball into double coverage, and it's caught down at the 45. Coming up with it for the Hornets, it's Torian Singleton.
That's just trusting your playmaker on the outside, and Singleton, who's being double covered, just elevates and goes up and gets it. And I think they have a segment on ESPN called "You Just Got Mossed," and Singleton did a nice job of trying to get himself on that.
Look at that catch. He went up and over the defender for Bentonville. The defender that time was Johnny Pike, and now timeouts are called.
That's how big that first run was, RJ. You pick up the first down, you get out of the shadow of your own goalpost, outside your own 5. Now you can take a shot. And Singleton, you got a guy double covered, just elevates and gets the football. And now Bryant's got a chance to pick up a few points and maybe double dip. As you mentioned, they get possession of the ball to start the second half.
And Bobby, you know, I'm just going back. We had just said you don't want to throw a pass that could be dangerous. And he throws into double coverage. And look at this throw. I mean, it's a great throw, but you've got 2 guys for Bentonville there. And, I mean, what a great catch by Torian Singleton.
Yeah, Johnny Pike just couldn't gather himself enough to explode up and high point the football. He's kind of going backwards, didn't have a lot of momentum behind him. And Singleton took advantage of it. A huge catch down the sideline.
So, Bobby, now let me ask you, though. Now you're in Bentonville territory. Do you open the playbook a little bit more with 27 seconds? Because even if you throw a pick at this point, I mean, you risk a pick 6, but it's a lot harder when you've got to go essentially 60, 70, 80 yards.
No, you've got the full playbook at your disposal. You've got 2 timeouts. You don't have to worry about going to the sideline. Of course, the clock will stop for a first down to move the chains. Bryant's going for broke here. They're going to go for the end zone.
5 wide. They throw it downfield, and he throws it behind Ganaway. He had him on the seam and throws it behind him. It's 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, you mentioned pick 6 is kind of out of the equation. We almost saw one right there as the linebacker just breaks right in front of him. You can see him right there. 18 has that one go right through his hands. And Brock Skidmore had nothing but open spaces in front of him if he could have corralled that pass. They're trying to get the seam out there, and Skidmore read it perfectly.
So it's 2nd down and 10 with the ball at the 45-yard line. Empty backfield. 5 wide in the formation. Moats going to look to throw. Steps up. Rolls right side. Has a man. Gets it down at the 31-yard line, and he goes out of bounds.
A great job to get his feet down. Sean Rycroft makes the catch on the near sideline. There's going to be a good look at it here. Nice job by Moats to flush to his right, elevate, gets the foot down clearly in bounds. Even got 2 for good measure and gets out of bounds.
They marked him back at the 32-yard line. It is a first down for the Hornets with 18 seconds left. Boy, if the Hornets got a score, Bobby, and then they get it back after the half, that would be big momentum for the halftime break for the Hornets. Here's Gideon Moats, steps up in the pocket, going to run with it. Out past the 25, slides down about 3 yards shy of the first down at the 25, down to 10 seconds left here in the first half.
Quick timeout there by Buck James. 10 seconds left. Got a chance for probably 2 plays at the end zone here, RJ, so maybe run 1 play, get a field goal out of it. Everybody, this has become more of a thing recently. They call it the middle 8, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. If you can win that middle portion of the contest, more times than not, you're going to be successful, and Bryant's got a chance to double dip right here.
And Bobby, Stephen Fuller is their kicker. His long is from 35 yards. He's 7 of 8 this year kicking field goals. His lone miss was in the semifinal game against Conway, and it was like a 21-yard chip shot.
So if his long of the season's 35, you're thinking they probably got to pick up 7 or 8 more yards to kind of get with that range.
And the Hornets do have 1 timeout left, as there's 10 seconds left here in the first half.
Of course, you might expand that out a little bit last play of a half. You'll trust him to maybe try to connect from 40 or so.
5 receivers in the formation. Ball in the middle of the field. Probably want to keep it in that area if you're going to go for the field goal. Here's Moats. Going to try to set up a screen. No, he's going to go downfield. Has Singleton down to 5. Touchdown. Torian Singleton. He beat coverage on the outside and went in for the touchdown.
Singleton single-handedly took that drive and said, hop on my back, boys. I'm about to put you in the end zone. He just won the one-on-one battle, and it was nothing but the back of his jersey for the Bentonville defense. And a nice job by Moats. Just floats it up, trusts his receiver to make a play, and he's in the end zone again.
I tell you, Bobby, it looked like he was going to try to set up a middle screen because the offensive line allowed for the linebackers and everybody to release on Moats, and he just lofted it up there. So Fuller's on to kick the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good, and it's 21-7 with 4 seconds to play in this one. And let's go down to Dorian Kraft on the sideline. And Dorian, that throw by Gideon Moats, it was a thing of beauty, and he's done a really good job coming in as the backup quarterback.
We're going to talk to Buck James about the decision to go with Moats on that third drive here in just a minute, but Moats really up to the task coming in after Bryant looked a little bit shaky to start this game, done a lot with his legs, and then once Bentonville bringing the rush, Moats just able to float that pass into the back of the end zone, and Moats has really been the difference maker for the Hornets so far here in the first half.
He has given them a breath of life here because, I mean, Walker just didn't feel comfortable in the backfield.
It all started with the quarterback run. A couple option reads and one scramble that opened things up. It kind of slowed down the Bentonville pass rush. We haven't seen the Tigers create the kind of pressure that they need to be successful on defense, and that's allowed him time to throw the football. And when you got a player like Singleton, you can just leave it out there for him. Well, you're going to be successful more times than not. 3 catches, 70 yards, 2 touchdowns for Torian Singleton.
21-7 is our score. 4 seconds remaining here in the half as Fuller's going to do a short kick that'll be caught at the 32-yard line. And for Bentonville, it's Pate who's going to take it up. He goes across the field. He'll be taken down at the 41. We do have a penalty flag here on the near side. And we'll see what that is. The clock is run down here at the stadium. Everybody's trying to leave the field, but let's see what the penalty flag is.
Yeah, if this is on Bentonville, it will be the end of the half. If it's on Bryant, though, Bentonville would get an untimed down.
Don't forget, coming up at the half, I'll tell you after
during the
this official
return,
call.
personal foul, blindside block. Correction, blindside block on the return team. That penalty is declined at halftime.
So it is halftime. It was against Bentonville, and so everybody will go to the locker room. Dorian Kraft's going to catch up with Buck James. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, it's a feature on the Salt Bowl. As the folks at Arkansas PBS did a great job with that. And so we will get Dorian and Coach Buck James as his Hornets lead it 21-7. Coach James taking a minute to get over to Dorian, and he's got to be happy, Bobby, as what his team has done up to this point here in the first half.
There's no doubt about it as he's making his way over to Dorian's spot, and just the way they responded, giving up the defensive touchdown early.
Let's go down to Buck James with Dorian Kraft.
Coach, what went into the decision to go with Gideon Moats starting there on the third drive?
Well, it's just a little big for Jordan. I just made some mistakes, and that's what we do. I mean, you make mistakes, you come out, and we'll get him back in. But I thought Gideon played well.
21 unanswered points. What was the biggest difference for your offense there in the second quarter?
Well, we made some plays. I didn't think we played very good the first half, and we're up 21-7, but we didn't make no plays. And when we make plays, we can be pretty good. We just got to keep playing great defense.
Coach, thank you. RJ?
Thank you, Dorian, as that is Buck James as his Hornets lead at 21-7. Make sure you stick around for the halftime show as you're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Hey everybody, David Basil here. It is halftime again at War Memorial. That means we have a little more time to share with you some of the things we've been working on here at Arkansas PBS. Coming up, Ed Leon is going to catch you up on some of the really cool stuff going on here at Arkansas PBS. Then Ashley King is going to introduce you to some student athletes who are bringing it both on the field and in the classroom. And we'll visit with one of the coolest and nicest guys you could ever meet, superfan Kanan Sandy. But first, years ago, a young kid in the Delta went from the football field in Clarendon to the SEC and then to the NFL. Now his journey brings him back to the field where it all started, this time as a coach. Take a look.
When I came to Clarendon, I was like, there was like a great person that walked these halls and that actually had a chance to go to college from the offer here, and that was Cedric Houston.
He's a legend. Best running back come out of Clarendon.
That's actually what encouraged me to be a running back. It was said like he had the most rushing yards. He scored the most touchdowns. So it was like, so now that he's coaching me, I'm gonna try to beat his record.
When I heard like a legend like Cedric Houston from Clarendon High School, a small town, I actually jumped for joy. Why in the world is Cedric Houston coming back to Clarendon, Arkansas? It's a small town, and he was away from here.
My name is Cedric Houston. I'm from Clarendon, Arkansas. Growing up here was probably the funnest, man, just going out, and we didn't have much to do, but we walked around town, played pickup basketball or baseball, wherever we can do that, and picked up football around the 7th grade. I started playing, and a lot of people were telling me I was pretty good, and I didn't know if I was good or not. We played Barton, I think I was an 8th grader, and Frank McClellan pulled me to the side after the game. I think he's like, "Kid, you're gonna play professional football one day." And hell, I didn't know professional football, NFL. I was like, "What you mean professional?" He's like, "You're gonna play in the NFL one day." So I kind of brushed it off. I was like, "I don't know, this old man don't know what he's talking about." And then he reminded me again, my senior season when they played us. He said, "You remember what I told you in 8th grade that you was gonna be playing pro ball one day?" He said, "You're getting a whole lot closer, aren't you?" I was like, "Yes, sir." And we both smiled and walked off.
Handoff against Cedric Houston, running left. Houston.
Sophomore, junior, and senior year I started. So I started for 3 years at the University of Tennessee. I finished 5th on the Tennessee rushing list, so I was 5th all-time in Tennessee rushing history, which was a huge accomplishment. So during my senior year, I was always tired. Like after a few plays, I was like, "Coach, man, I'm tired." He's like, "What you tired for? You're in tip-top shape." I was like, "Man, I'm tired." And I mean, I didn't know what it was for or from. And after that, I got invited to the NFL Combine, and they did blood work on me there, and they found out I had a hyperthyroid. So before that, I had probably a draft grade to probably 2nd round. I'm probably gonna be a 2nd rounder, early 3rd rounder. Then after that, my agent was like, "Man, said I don't know who's gonna take a chance on you, who's gonna draft you, if you're getting drafted." So we didn't know after the Combine. We didn't know if I was getting drafted or not, and we didn't know how serious the thyroid condition was or what I had to do for it. They just took a chance on me, and I went 6th round to the New York Jets.
To me, I think he just wanted to come back to his hometown where he get his experience to other players so they can try to make it too.
He knows what it takes to get that, so I feel like it's a good advantage.
Coming up playing football and having great coaches through high school and then having great coaches through college made you be a better man. I knew I wanted to eventually get into coaching and influence some kids. Just being in this area and some guys not having father figures in their lives, you got these coaches around that's doing the right things and may not seem big, but that's huge for guys in this Delta area and just from these areas.
He's basically a good running back, but like a father figure to me.
He teach you right from wrong.
if you ain't doing your work, he'll pull you to the side and tell you what to do and like help you out.
1, 2, 3, when you get to know Cedric Houston, he's actually a good person. He knows how to do his job, you know what I'm saying? Keep smiles on everybody's face. Take it off. Take it off. Look,
He's a good old person for Clarendon. Don't tell him I said that.
What a great story. Exciting things in the future there in Clarendon. Let's turn now to the student athlete with emphasis on the student part. Ashley, what do you have for us?
Thanks, David. Yes, once again this year we reached out to schools across the state of Arkansas to find out about those athletes who not only excel on the field, but in the classroom too. Here's the Arkansas PBS Student All-Stars class of 2022. We're going to start with our 8-man honoree, Jackson Martin. Jackson is a senior quarterback for the Woodline High School Bears. He has a 3.5 grade point average. He plans to attend college and become a coach or study to be a real estate agent. Out of 2A, let's meet Luke King. Luke is a senior quarterback and linebacker for the Hazen High School Hornets. He maintains a 4.0 grade point average and wants to play college football and ultimately become a dentist. Moving on to 3A, here's Sawyer Hoskins with the Melbourne High School Bearcats. This senior offensive and defensive linebacker is a 4-year starter who holds a 4.2 GPA. He also scored an amazing 33 on the ACT exam. He plans to become a pharmacist. Our 4A All-Star this year is Jalen Dupree. Jalen is a junior running back and linebacker for the Malvern High School Leopards. He has a 3.5 grade point average. Following high school, Jalen plans to play college football and major in physical therapy. Coming around to 5A, we have Tavion Haney of the Parkview High School Patriots. Tavion is a senior cornerback and has a 3.5 grade point average. He has received the Outstanding Academic Excellence Award and has won all conference and all state honors. He plans to continue playing football while seeking a degree in engineering or learning a trade. The 6A representative this season is Hayden Webb. The senior offensive lineman for the Greenwood High School Bulldogs maintains a 4.0 GPA and scored a perfect 36 on the ACT exam. He plans to attend the University of Arkansas at Fayetteville after graduation. And finally, we wrap up with our 7A All-Star, Abe Owen. Abe is the senior quarterback for the Cabot High School Panthers. He has a 4.0 GPA. After high school, he plans to go to college and medical school to become an orthopedic surgeon. Congratulations to all the honorees and way to go. We might see some of those faces again in April right here in this very studio for Quiz Bowl. Make a mental note to watch Quiz Bowl this year. Some of the sharpest high school students in the state meet up right here and square off not only for bragging rights, but for some pretty big checks too. And it is live right here on Arkansas PBS. Now, Ed, speaking of what is on Arkansas PBS, there are some more things that you want to fill us in on, right?
I have a few things, Ashley. We've got a lot going on here at Arkansas PBS. You've seen a lot of football today, and we've got basketball state finals right around the corner in March, and then there's baseball and softball in May. And this year we added volleyball back in October. Now, why? Why is Arkansas PBS doing sports? Well, to us and to the student athletes and their families, it's a lot more than just sports. Take a look.
It's the final game of championship weekend here in Hot Springs. It's a sold-out crowd. Here we go. Tip-off is set. Beck with the right hand. Tie ball game.
When you gonna wake up? Y'all gonna wake up when the season over?
That's swung on, lifted high to right field. He's going back to the warning track. It's out of here.
I can kind of look at people and tell that they doubt me. You know, you can kind of see their entire expression kind of change right when you make it.
The sun is setting in Saline County, and we've got 4A baseball. A title's on the line. Rester gives it off. Right side. The 10, 5, walk the dog, touchdown.
It's so important to this state and the fabric of the state, and I appreciate Arkansas PBS doing all the state title games, and I can only think of the kids in small towns, and this is the biggest moment maybe in their sports careers, and they have that keepsake of having that game on TV to have with them the rest of their lives.
The set, tapped over, and the Benton Panthers are the 2022 state champions.
You know, we are your Arkansas PBS. These sports broadcasts give us a lens through which we can tell stories of inspiration, stories of determination, your stories, Arkansas stories. Take a look.
an Arkansas adventure like never before.
To be a sustainable farm, you have to make investments for the future.
And I hope they found a lot of good stuff. I hope they feel love.
And I'm going to change.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Country.
I was known on the West Coast as the Arkansas Wild Man.
Amazing creators and entrepreneurs dig into their inspiration and see how they let it shine into the world.
Got some microphones here. You gonna do a little something for us?
Oh, the coat of many colors.
Which one? You pick. You pick.
In my coat of many colors.
But in its own right, a beautiful form of art.
We gotta teach the new guy, or this ain't gonna be around much longer.
The future is now.
There is something on Arkansas PBS for every person in our natural state. It's our mission to ensure that, and we want to let you know how you can join our family. Scan that QR code on your screen. If you're enjoying these high school championship games, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, or quiz bowl, and then sign up and become part of our team. That QR code will take you where you need to go and sign up, and we'll get updates to you and let you know what's coming up so you don't miss a thing. All right, I think we've got time for one more story. Baz?
Yes, we do, Ed. Matter of fact, this story is very close to my heart. Kanan Sandy has risen from humble beginnings in the small Arkansas town of Cave City to be named to the ESPN's Fan Hall of Fame. Take a look.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll direct your attention to the 50-yard line. Kanan wants to lead us in a hog call tonight, so please join me as we call the Hogs with the Hogs' #1 fan, Kanan Sandy.
3, 2, 1. Who is Kanan Sandy?
Bull Pig Street, race it back. The Hog!
Kanan, he's just a champion.
It's 100 miles an hour wherever he is, you know.
His enthusiasm is contagious.
Kanan's personality is way bigger than Kanan.
That's just Kanan. You meet him one time and you know him the rest of your life.
Arkansas is all about the Razorbacks. There's nothing else.
If you're in Arkansas and you're a sports fan, you're for the Razorbacks.
Hey, say, raise that back!
When he was 3 months old, took him to the Razorback game. 3 weeks later, he had to have open heart surgery.
There's probably not any illness or birth defect that he didn't have to conquer it one way or another.
He was born with VSD in his heart. He was born with an intestinal blockage, and he was born deaf. They gave us no hope that we were going to get to keep him. They all fought for him just like he was going to be a superstar one day.
This is my room. I got a big helmet, Arkansas helmet right here. It's my favorite helmet all the time.
This is a copy of the picture that is in ESPN courtyard in Bristol, Connecticut.
The ESPN Hall of Fame, hey, we weren't surprised at all.
As soon as they come out with a fan Hall of Fame, what bigger fan is there than Kanan Sandy of the Arkansas Razorbacks? Good, bad, ugly, it didn't matter. He's always there, always cheering.
I love the Hall of Famer, and it's an honor.
The two most famous people in Cave City are Ricky Medlock, who played for the Razorbacks, and then even more famous is Kanan Sandy.
They had called us and said, we want Kanan we're going to do a 2-point conversion, and Kanan's going to run the ball in. Everything, we're standing on the sideline, all of a sudden the news crews start running, and they go, what's going on? And they said, Coach Bielema has decided he wants a 50-yard touchdown with Kanan. What? They go running down the field, and the only thing I hear is one of the SIDs give Kanan the ball, and they shove it in his hand, and they said, don't you dare drop this ball in front of 30,000 people. good. All right.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
I love this.
That's him putting Kanan in an ambulance when the dreaded gallstone thing. He called me and he said, Mom, I don't feel good. And he was in the bathroom, and I said, well, let's get to the couch. And I got him to the couch.
Oh, look.
He quit breathing. He just turned completely blue. He fell over on the couch, and his eyes just fixed, and I just panicked.
I think it really resonated to her that, you know, how fragile his health was. They've just been everything to each other, and they had fought for each other in so many ways.
And we went through rehab and things. So we're probably got back what we're going to get back, but it's good enough. Woo! Hey, Zoe! Kanan always followed all the commits. And it was like one week we said, hey, so-and-so is playing Friday night at a football game. Let's go and watch him play.
He wants to see those guys come be a Razorback. And I promise you that has made an impact. And I mean, that's special. I don't know anybody else that does that in the country.
He's back in full force. He sure is.
Mr. Kanan Sandy.
He's loved. You know, Kanan loves people, and we love Kanan.
He's the most honest, outgoing, loving person I guess I've ever seen.
He impacts so many people's lives. It's a great example of what one person can do.
Get up! Hey, say!
He can bring so much joy to the people across the state of Arkansas I mean, it's immeasurable what that means.
Hey, say!
Kanan is the product of other people's love.
Hey, say! Take that back!
People of Arkansas have retaliated with their love, and they're the ones that have made Kanan famous. Kanan didn't do it. I didn't do it. They made Kanan famous because they just poured their love into him. It's because they're so good, and they've just opened their hearts to him.
It is amazing to me how much traveling that Ginger and Kanan and Sandy do, in-state and out-of-state.
That's right. They go watch recruits in high school games. Of course, all of the Razorback games. It's incredible.
Yeah, what a great story, by the way. It's like more than a sports story. That's a human story. Those are great people.
Yeah, Kanan's got the biggest heart, and the world needs a lot more Kanan Sandys for sure. Well, that's it for us on the halftime show. Thanks for watching.
Now let's send you back to War Memorial Stadium for the second half action.
Right here on the home of the high school football state finals, Arkansas PBS.
The Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Back here at War Memorial Stadium as we get ready to start the second half, where Jody Grant, the head football coach for the Bentonville Tigers, is standing by with Dorian Kraft. Well, we thought Jody was. He hadn't quite made it out. We'll get him here in just a moment as Dorian's going to chase him down, and we'll get him here in just a moment. But Bobby, as everybody's getting warmed up, give me some quick keys for Bentonville to start the second half.
Well, we said we got to protect the football. Can't give Bryant extra possessions. The interception led to the interception return for a touchdown, and that's an extra possession that Bryant was able to take advantage of. Huge possession to start this third quarter as Britton's going to receive the opening kickoff.
Now let's go down to Jody Grant with Dorian Kraft.
Turn your mic on. Come up with it'll work, but our defense has played really hard the first half. We got to get them off the field. They're on the field too much. We got to get some stuff going offensively so our defense can come out a little more fresh.
What's the key to getting Ficklin going in the second half?
Well, we got to be able to pop him. Our offensive line's going to have to do a better job up front. You know, a lot of that has to do with Bryant's defensive front seven, and they're special. But we got to do this. We got to get our back going for us to be able to operate offensively.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Dorian. Appreciate that, as that was head coach Jody Grant for the Bentonville Tigers as his team trails 21-7 here in the 7A state championship game. Bobby, I just talked about those Bentonville Tigers and what they had to do here in the second half. For Bryant, they've got the lead right now. What do they need to do to kind of maintain that or to expound upon that?
I think they've got to be balanced. I mean, we've seen what Moats has been able to do with the run-pass option element of it and then going deep down the field to Singleton. As long as they stay balanced, it keeps Bentonville from bringing too much pressure, which they had success on in the very first 2 or 3 drives of this contest. Once they were able to level that out, that's when they've been successful.
There's your first half stats right now. Passing is in favor of Bryant with 110. Rushing's in favor of Bryant. And really total yards, which that total yards, Bobby, that was in favor of Bentonville much of the first half, and really the second quarter is when Bryant took over.
Yeah, and you got to think about that. That's 110 passing yards, 199 overall. That includes minus 40 rushing for Walker, of course, the lateral that resulted in the Bentonville defensive touchdown. So the numbers are a lot better for Bryant offensively than they look. But Bentonville's defense is playing pretty well. That defensive score obviously looms large.
Now here's the defensive battle that we've talked about so much throughout this ball game, and you know, one thing about Bentonville's defense, they're the only one that's got a sack so far in this one.
Yeah, those numbers right there on both sides of your screen are success. That is a recipe of how to win a 7A state championship. They're both doing their jobs, but the defensive score is allowed this game to be a little more level than you might expect looking at those numbers.
Well, if you enjoyed the first half, sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, because this second half is going to be entertaining for sure, as the Bryant Hornets are going to receive the second half kick as they deferred to start the ball game, and we are just about set and ready to go for the conclusion of this 7A state championship game from War Memorial Stadium. I'm R.J. Hawk along with Bobby Swafford. Dorian Kraft is on the sidelines tonight for this broadcast, as we are just glad to be able to bring this to you in what has really been a fun weekend so far. We had the 8-man championship last night. Earlier today at noon, the 2A championship game. We had some really good ball games so far throughout the day.
And we're not done. We got 2 more tomorrow, 2 more next weekend. This is the best, to me, the best 8-day stretch that high school football has to offer. All the best teams playing here in the capital city and here at War Memorial Stadium. Of course, we got 5A and 6A coming up tomorrow.
Tymoson's going to put this one into the end zone, and so Bryant will have it 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line as we will start the second half of play. Well, Bobby, you know, we've talked about keys for both these teams, and you know, we heard Buck James at the half say that we would see Jordan Walker, who started the ball game at quarterback, come back in at some point. But Gideon Moats is the guy he's riding with to start the second half.
Yeah, he's played too well to take him out. I understand that Coach Buck James wants to go back and keep the confidence there for the sophomore Walker, but Moats is playing way too well to take him out of the football game, and this is a huge drive, RJ, for both sides. If Bentonville's defense can get a stop, they feel like they can get back into this contest, going the other way as Bryant breaks one down the sideline.
Here's Ganaway as Ganaway was able to slip through on that right side, got a big run lane, and that's really where he is dangerous, because when he gets in the open field, he's got the speed to run away.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Nice job of stretching that out and gets to the corner. And like you said, once he turns that corner, he's got speed. But to finish my thought from a second ago, if Bryant can score here, 3-possession game, maybe it's out of reach.
Now Moat's going to hand it to Ganaway once again, trying to pick his spot out past the 50-yard line. He fumbled it, and Bentonville recovers it. Coming up with it for the Bentonville Tigers, it was J.T. Tomesco who came up with the fumble recovery, and so now the Hornet defense going to come out onto the football field.
Tomesco's done everything he can to keep his team in the contest. He had the interception in the first half in the red zone, and Johnny on the spot to hop on the loose ball, because that one was punched out, looked like by Nick Stone, number 19, the linebacker, the senior, and that was a huge, huge break for Bentonville, because Bryant looked like they had something going on the ground.
And you saw right there, Ganaway, the way he was carrying it, it was out away from his body when it got punched out, and so now Bentonville's got great field position as they'll have it at the 46-yard line. Nye going to look to throw, now he's under pressure, throws it downfield, and he Schwanhops the receiver that time and trying to hook up with Q Brown. And that brings up 2nd down and 10.
Bentonville was wanting to take a shot to their home run hitter on the outside, C.J. Brown, who's at the top of your screen, but they had safety help over the top. Nice job by Nye to recognize that, go to his 2nd or 3rd option, and throw it away.
Just underway here in the 3rd quarter of the 7A state championship game as the ball's going to be at the Bentonville 46-yard line. 2 wide receivers on the top side of the formation. Nye will be in the shotgun. He's got Ficklin just to his right. Going to look to throw again. Short pass inside to Bryant territory, as that time was able to find his receiver C.J. Brown and get a nice gain as it's right there at the sticks. Maybe about a yard shy it is. And so that'll bring up 2nd down and 1. 3rd down and 1, excuse me.
This is where they've got to be able to get Ficklin involved. You got to trust your front up at the line of scrimmage to establish control, and Ficklin's got to be able to pick up this yard. And then again, RJ, they're probably pointing out the obvious. You've got to believe this is 2 down territory.
3rd down and 1 for the Tigers. As Bryant's going to cheat some linebackers up to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to give it to Ficklin, and Ficklin, he gets stopped in the backfield. He loses a yard on the play. He kind of stutter-stepped, Bobby, and he didn't know which way he was going to go.
Yeah, and he had to do that because Bryant moved the line of scrimmage back a full yard. That's a nice job by the Hornets defensive front. They rearranged where the line of scrimmage was, and you can see the fill in the hole right there in the middle. It was first the linebacker and then cleaned up at the end by big number 90 in the middle, Jalen Russ.
So today, Bentonville is 0 for 1 on 4th down. As they've got a 4th down and 2, they're going to keep the offense on the field.
There's no one directly over the center for Bentonville. On that last play, I'm almost like they've seen a quarterback sneak.
Ficklin is going to be the only guy in the backfield. Now a timeout charge to Bentonville.
That's easy for me to say because I'm sitting up here at the 10,000-foot view here in the press box. But when you recognize that, especially on 3rd and short, maybe audible that, recognize you go quarterback sneak right up the middle. They could have picked up an easy 1st down. Instead, they snap it in the shotgun. Ficklin gets it 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Bryant makes the play in the hole.
Like they were going out of the Wildcat to try to let him just pick his spot. And, Bryant was going to – they were going to crowd that line of scrimmage on that 4th down attempt. So now you got to think about it because, the last time – that they went for it on 4th down, they called the timeout, if you remember, and then that's when the interception happened. And so you want to dial up the right play right here on 4th down and 2.
Yeah, normally you would think this is automatic 4th and 2 short yardage. We're going to run it. The way the Bryant defense has been playing, holding Bentonville to just 3.5 yards per carry, and they've had to work for every inch they've got. I'm not sure that you don't go a little play action, try to sneak someone out to the flat, maybe C.J. Brown coming off a motion and try to see what you can create, but it looks like they're going to try to stick with that Wildcat look.
Ball's at the 46-yard line in Bryant territory as it's 4th down and 2. And now we've got whistles and a false start on Bentonville.
They tried to get a little too fancy
Prior to
there
the snap,
and move it up front.
False start, offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
And so now the punting unit's going to come on for Bentonville.
That's the 2nd time we've seen Bentonville think about going for it on a 4th down, and a false start forces the punt team to try it onto the field.
Missed opportunities. I think you can sum up the first half and really now this drive here in the second half are just missed opportunities for Bentonville.
It really is. I mean, that's a scenario, 3rd and 1. You feel like with the success they've had running the football all season long, you're going to be able to get that with 2 downs. There, you don't get it on 3rd down. You have to call timeout, and now you're forced to punt. And Bryant, which is already up 2 scores, gets possession.
Drake Fowler receives the punt, has a running lane left side. There is a penalty flag down back at the 27-yard line, and Fowler's going to return it all the way out past the 45-yard line to the 47, but hold everything as there's a penalty flag. It's officially been put down at the 23, and we'll see what the call is.
They're already marching it back, so it looks like this is going to be on the return unit for Bryant. That's a nice
During the return, holding on the return team. Penalty is 10 yards, 1st down.
That's a nice job setting up the return to the far sideline. More times than not, you'll see your return set up to your home side, to your sideline. That time they set it up to the opposing side in a big lane, but all for naught as they march it back because of the special teams miscue.
So for Bryant, they're going to be inside the 20-yard line They're going to spot the ball down at the 14, and that's where Bryant will have it. And Bobby, I don't recall, I'd have to look back at the drive charts, but I don't recall a good field position for Bryant at any point in this ball game.
No, Bentonville.
Starting field position.
Bentonville's clearly had the better starting field position, but it didn't matter. Bryant's got a 96-yard drive on their resume tonight.
Now here's the snap. They're going to hand it to James Martin, and Martin jumps over defenders, still rolling, and he's going to pick up a first down as he gets it out to the 24-yard line.
You started to see it on that final drive right before the half, RJ. Bryant has taken over the line of scrimmage. They really are moving men up front. And you can give credit to those big guys up front. They're starting to take over this football game.
1st and 10 for the Hornets as the ball's at the 24-yard line. Martin's going to line up to the right of Gideon Moats. And now we've got whistles and penalty flags.
Yeah, Bentonville was pointing out some movement. Referees noticed
Snap infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll be a snap infraction against the Hornets. And that'll back it up to the 19-yard line.
16 first downs for the Hornets, just 5 for Bentonville. It shows the dominance that the Hornet defense has been able to put through for 2.5 quarters.
1st and 15 for the Hornets. As Moats going to keep it himself. Going to stay on his feet, and he'll get it back out to the 24-yard line. So he got back the 5 yards that they lost, but it's now 2nd down.
Yeah, he's a load to bring down. You thought that looked like that might be a no gain, maybe a gain of 1 as Bentonville stayed home on that option read. But he's able to use that big frame lead forward, and as you mentioned, get back to the original line of scrimmage.
So it's 2nd down and 10 with the ball at the 24-yard line on the near hash. Moat's going to look to throw. Under pressure, steps up, and he's going to throw it out of bounds. It was past the line of scrimmage, but is there a penalty flag down over the 29-yard line? No, I think that's just some type of mark on the turf. Maybe there is, yeah. The officials are getting together now, I guess, to talk about the pass and whether it crossed the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and they're also discussing if the near receiver was in the vicinity. So I guess they're going to say he was close enough. There was a receiver about 7 or 8 yards past where that ball was thrown. He was still in the pocket, was Moats. But they're going to say the receiver was close enough.
And now we make it a replay. Because now the umpire came down to talk to the official, the head official. And that's, no, we're not going to get a replay. So they just had to talk things over. So it's 3rd down and 10. As they're going to go 5 wide in the formation. Moats is going to be in the shotgun.
See if Bentonville brings pressure. They do.
Moats going to swing it out left side to Mytorian Singleton. He's going to bounce off a defender, and he'll get the first down as he goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. That is a big play by the wide receiver, Mytorian Singleton.
Singleton's just doing big boy stuff on the outside. He is just shucking defenders. He already did it on the short touchdown catch he caught on the speed sweep earlier. That has to be a play made by the defense for Bentonville. They've got 2 defenders out there. He's short of the first down marker, just runs through 2 tacklers, picks up a huge first down for Bryant.
Ball at the 26-yard line. As Martin is the running back, they're going to give it to him, and he has nowhere to go. Bottled up. There's a host of Tigers that came in, and then he's going to lose about 2 yards on the play.
That's just a great job defensively by Bentonville to gang tackle. Martin broke the first one, but had nowhere to go, and they dump him for a loss.
If you look at the replay, Gideon Moats, if he would have kept it, he had a wide open side of the field to be able to run.
And he's made some big plays with his legs, so maybe see if they come back to that option read, which they had so much success on their first scoring drive tonight.
So it's 2nd down and 12 with the ball at the 34-yard line. Moats going to hand it to Martin once again. Got a running lane straight up the middle, and he'll be taken down at the 43-yard line, and that'll bring up 3rd down and short now for the Hornets.
Yeah, that's just a luxury you have when you've got a running game and an offensive line like that, RJ, because normally 2nd and 12 is automatic pass, and they go draw play in a huge game there, making up 3rd and short.
Under 8 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. Bryant on top of this one, 21-7. Going to get 3 yards for a 1st down. Moats going to hand it off once again, and right there was that Bentonville defense, did not allow anything, and he got back to the line of scrimmage, but that was it.
Yeah, they tried to overload that left side with 2 lead blockers, but Bentonville recognized it, maybe a little too predictable there for Bryant, and they get the much-needed defensive stop. Bryant's punt team trots on the field.
So Malachi Graham going to come on to punt for the Hornets. Back deep for Bentonville. They'll send Q Brown. Graham's punt is a wobbly punt that bounces at the 31, takes a Bryant roll and goes out of bounds at the 26-yard line. And so that's where the Tigers will have it 1st and 10 with 6:56 remaining left here in the 3rd quarter.
That may be an adjustment that Bryant made at halftime. Tired of kicking to Q Bryant and watching him change field position. You saw him with 3 good punt returns in that 1st half. That time you angle it away from him, get an extra roll, and now Bentonville starting this drive inside their own 30.
So Bentonville with the football at the 26-yard line. 3 wide receivers on the top side of the formation, and Nye's going to look to throw, and he throws a pick almost. Boy, I tell you, I almost called that one because there was not a Tiger within 5 yards of it, and it hit off the hands of Miguel Graham for the Hornets.
It's a great job by Graham to recognize, just kind of fall back into the flats. And they've given up that 5 or 6 yard route. That time they were going for 10 to 12, and he dropped right back into it and dropped an easy interception.
So it's now 2nd down and 10 for the Tigers. Fakes the handoff, goes into the flats, and a big-time hit that time. Coming up to make the stop for the Hornets, it was Drake Fowler.
Just waited too long to make that decision to throw it on the swing route to Brown. You've got to let that go as soon as you get the ball. It kind of hesitated, allowed Fowler time to break up, and just chopped him down right at the thigh. And C.J. Brown's got to take himself out of this game on the big 3rd down.
And that was a 5-yard loss, so it brings up 3rd down and 15 as the clock is rolling at 6:21. Ball's going to be spotted down at the 22-yard line.
Haven't seen much of Ficklin here in the 2nd half. Bentonville trying to rely on the passing game, and Bryant's defense has been up to the challenge thus far.
4 wide in the formation. Nye's going to take the shotgun snap, going to look to throw. Working it right side, and it's in and out of the hands of his wide receiver that time. Trying to hook up with his wide out Luke Kuhn, and the punting unit's going to come on for the Tigers.
It's a pretty nice throw for Nye all the way across the field, but just too far for the outreached arms of Kuhn. And a quick 3 and out for Bentonville is going to put their defense back on the field.
Well, this kind of reminds you of that 1st quarter that we had in this game where it was just defense all in the 1st quarter. If you remember back to the start of this game, Bentonville had a 7-0 lead throughout the entire 1st quarter. So Fowler's going to stand at the 40-yard line for the Hornets as Tymason is going to punt this one away. And it'll be a wobbly short kick that Fowler drops, and it's fallen on by the Hornets down at the 43-yard line. And there's a scramble for it on the turf, but the Bryant Hornets will retain possession as they'll have it at the 43-yard line with 5:54 to play left here in the 3rd quarter. We owe you a timeout. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier, and that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us. Saline Clinics.
If you want to buy a copy of this championship game or any other, just go to mmproductions.net, place your order, and you can listen to the sweet, melodious tones of RJ's voice over and over again.
Well, you know, I learned earlier today that people still use a DVD player. I thought that was kind of by the wayside, but yeah, apparently that's still a big business for folks to have a DVD player.
Absolutely. How else would you watch it over there?
Well, good point. Here's the 1st and 10 with the ball at the 43-yard line for the Hornets, as Gideon Moats is going to hand it off this time to Ganaway. Ganaway getting some redemption after that fumble as he gets out past the 40 to the 39-yard line.
Running lanes are just getting bigger and bigger, RJ. And that time, on a little counter action, Ganaway found a crease right up the middle, and quickly Bryant's inside the 40.
You got to think that Buck James was just going to give it right back to him after he fumbled it, just to get that confidence back. As it's 1st and 10, now here's a toss sweep to Ganaway. Going to get out in space, and he'll be tackled down at the 36-yard line. It's a 3-yard gain for the Hornets to bring up 2nd down.
Great open field stop by Christian Farrow, but you're seeing a 3-man defensive front for Bentonville. That's the staple. That's what they've run forever under Coach Jody Grant, but you may have to start creeping some extra guys into that box to try to slow down this Bryant rushing attack, which of course could open up things in the passing game.
3 wide receivers to the right side of the formation, as Ganaway is going to get it again, and the Bentonville defense is right there. It's going to be a 3-yard loss after that Bentonville defensive line. They just got a big-time push to get in the backfield.
Yeah, nice job by 91, Ben Pearson. This comes off the block, makes the play in the backfield, and cleaned up by 18, Skidmore. It's a big sequence right here for Bentonville as it's 3rd and long for the Hornets.
So it's 3rd down and 10 with the ball at the 40-yard line, 41-yard line. Gideon Moats going to look to throw. Throws it across the middle, has a man, and that's into the hands of Mytorian Singleton, who has come up big once again.
That one just a tick in front of Johnny Pike, the defensive back for Bentonville, who was a hair late on that, allowed Singleton to make the play, but he was just a fraction of a second behind. As you can see, he gets there just behind the football, allows the completion of the 3rd down conversion.
So it's 1st and 10 with the ball at the 26-yard line. Moats going to hand it off, this time to Martin. He's going to cut it back to the middle of the field, and he'll be down inside the 25, down to the 24-yard line. 2-yard gain for Martin, and that'll bring up 2nd down and 8.
Yeah, that's just a clock journey right there, RJ. If you're Bryant, you know you've got a 2-touchdown lead. You're going to work this clock, and as they continue to march down the field, as they've done most of, really since that 1st quarter.
You know, I was looking at the numbers for Gideon Moats. 9 of 18 passing for 135 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. So 3 wide are going to go to the left side of the formation as a toss sweep goes to Martin. And once again, that Bentonville defense right there. No gain, as that'll bring up 3rd down.
Another nice stop there by 91 Pearson.
So it's 3rd down and 9. Did lose a yard on the play as the ball's at the 25-yard line. Down to 3 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter.
I'd like to see Bentonville bring a little pressure here, try to get Moats off his spot, move the pocket, force him to create something on the move.
Empty backfield, 5 wide in the formation as Moats is in the shotgun. Moats stays in the pocket, goes downfield, has a man at the 5, dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Hornets! That time was able to hook up with wide receiver Carter Ratliff for the touchdown.
3rd touchdown catch of the season for Ratliff, and again, Bryant goes right back to the middle of the secondary for Bentonville. They've tried to attack that spot all night long, and they're able to connect with Ratliff, a perfect strike, and the Hornets back in the end zone.
On to kick for Bryant is Stephen Fuller. As the extra point is up, and it is good, and the Hornets extend their lead to 28-7. Hey, let's head down to Dorian Kraft on the sideline. And Dorian, we've talked so much about the push of the offensive line and really the defensive line for Bryant. And Buck James has been really harping on the weight program that they've had during the offseason.
One of the hallmarks of this Bryant team has been the strength and physicality over the last 5 years, and it is because of the weightlifting program. James told Hootens that the Hornets lift 46 weeks out of the year, and that program gets more difficult once it gets in season. Not only has that allowed the Hornets to avoid injury, but it also allows them to get stronger during the season, which is one of the reasons why those lines are able to get pushes like that in the second half, leading to those sustained drives.
Thank you, Dorian. And, you know, and nothing to take away from Bentonville, Bobby, but, you know, you can see that the stamina of Bryant has really excelled as this game has gone on, as this is going to be a short kick that'll be taken down at the 10-yard line. And brought up for Bentonville. Bringing it up was JT Tomesco, and that's where Bentonville will have it 1st and 10 as they're going to spot the ball down at the 29-yard line.
Yeah, I like what Dorian said and the thought process of making the strength program more difficult once the season arrives, because a lot of teams will scale back. They want you to maintain your strength instead of getting stronger during the football season. Buck James taking the opposite approach, and clearly you can't argue with the success that they've had.
So it's 1st down and 10 with the ball at the 29-yard line. 2:35 to play here in the third quarter. Nye's going to be in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, going to go with a little bubble screen. And Bryant is right there. Coming up to make the stop for the Hornets, it was Malachi Graham.
They've just been able to keep everything in front. We haven't seen Bentonville really even sniff a big play. They haven't tried to take many shots down the field because we've seen Bryant kind of has that umbrella coverage and just keeping everything in front and making, you know, Bentonville, with the lack of a better term, just dink and dunk it down the field, and the Tigers haven't been able to do so.
2nd down and 12. As Nye's going to look to throw, and he's under pressure once again, and he just has to throw it out of bounds.
Some immediate pressure right up the middle, and then of course Sebastian Altman's 52 right in the middle of your screen, the junior linebacker, and that's where the pressure's been all day. They haven't really got so much off the edges, talking about Bryant, but right up the middle in that A-gap, they've had a lot of success.
So it's 3rd down and 12 with the ball at the 27-yard line. We're under 2 minutes to play here in the third quarter. You're going to have stacked wide receivers on both sides of the formation with Ficklin behind Nye in the shotgun. Nye under pressure, steps up in the pocket. Going to run with it. Going to get out past the 35, going to be very near a 1st down as they're going to mark him down at the 39-yard line, and that's right there at the sticks, Bobby.
Yeah, it's going to be really close, but a great job by Carter Nye to feel that pressure. He steps up in the pocket and makes one guy miss and picks up just enough to get a much-needed 1st down. This is a big drive for Bentonville. They have to capitalize, punch it in the end zone here if they want a chance to mount a big rally.
For a guy that doesn't run very often, that was a big-time pickup for Carter Nye. It's 1st down and 10. They're going to give it to Ficklin. Ficklin up the middle, and he'll get it out to the 44-yard line, and it brings up 2nd down.
Just haven't been able to get him involved. Just the 11th touch of the contest so far for Josh Ficklin. He's got 42 yards on those 11 touches.
2nd down and 5 with the ball at the Bentonville 44-yard line. Gives it back to Ficklin, and he has nowhere to go. Gets it out past the 45 to the 46.
Yeah, those plays are generally 4, 5, 6 yards. You work a 12 or 15-yarder, and Bryant's just not bending at all. And now another 3rd and medium to short for Bentonville, which Bryant's been dominant on these 3rd down opportunities. 1 of 10 is Bentonville on 3rd down tonight.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive number. And, you know, going back for Bryant's defense, they've only allowed opponents on 3rd down 25% of the time do they convert. As Nye going to hand it to Ficklin. Ficklin works to the outside, and he can't get there. He can't get there, got back, maybe got a yard but for sure got back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 4th down.
A great job by Brandon Johnson, number 5 in blue. Just read that perfectly, stretched it out, stuffed Ficklin right there, relied on his teammates to clean it up. But you can see him right there. Nice job outside leverage. And Bentonville faced with another decision to make near midfield.
Well, they'll have a little bit more time to make that decision, as it's time to put those 4 fingers in the air, because we are headed to the 4th quarter, where the Bryant Hornets, they lead the 7A state championship 28-7 over Bentonville. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Since 1999, we've been with you every step of the way. From your first savings account, to graduation, to your first home. Centennial Bank is here to walk with you into the future. Though we've grown, Arkansas is still our home. We're still local bankers invested in our communities, here to help you however we can. Thank you for being a part of our journey. We'll be here when you need us. Centennial Bank, member FDIC.
Team sports in Arkansas really is the building of character. It's being able to get through trials and tribulations as a team. You take those lessons from team sports and use them in everyday life situations. I'm RJ Hawk. Please consider giving to Arkansas PBS Sports.
Back here at War Memorial Stadium, 28-7 as we start the 4th quarter. How did we get to this point? Well, it all started with this fumble right here as Walker threw it behind Ganaway, and it was a defensive touchdown for the Bentonville Tigers to start things off. Bentonville led for the entire 1st quarter. It was 7-0. Then the Bryant Hornets woke up as Torian Singleton was able to get the first score for the Hornets, and they tied the ball game at 7 apiece. And then it's been all Bryant ever since that point, as here was a big-time interception of 77 yards. Malachi Graham was able to take it to the house and give Bryant the lead after that touchdown. And then, of course, Torian Singleton, he was able to hook up with Gideon Moats from 26 yards out, and that was the touchdown. And, of course, we just had one more touchdown a moment ago, and it's now 28-7. And that's how we got here in the 7A state championship game.
Torian Singleton has really turned this game upside down. His playmaking ability on the outside, it really goes back to that one, the trust that Buck James has. They throw it to him in the double team, allowed him to score right before the half.
It's 4th down and 3. Nye's going to look to throw, going left side, overthrows his intended target, trying to hook up with Q Brown, and that's a turnover on downs for Bentonville. And Bobby, that is what, the 3rd time now that they have been unsuccessful on 4th down. Their 2nd time, excuse me.
That play was the epitome of what tonight has been for the Bentonville offense. Just nothing is coming easy. Nothing looks comfortable. That time, Nye was pressured. He had happy feet. He didn't know what to do with the football. He's falling backwards, didn't have his momentum going forwards towards that throw. Airmails it and turnover on downs.
You know, this was the game that a lot of people were saying who has the best defense in the state of Arkansas, because both have been really good. I know there were some reporters here in the press box that were dubbing Bryant with the best defense. Some were saying Bentonville, and Bryant's defense has really shown out so far as James Martin's got it, and he'll get past the 45, still on his feet, as he'll get down to the 41-yard line. Nice run of 5 yards by James Martin.
Just the physicality is obvious on both sides of the football, and Bryant is starting to win that, and that was evident as you start to see the pile move a little forward at the end of that run, which looked like it was going to be a 1 or 2 yard gain. Now you look up at 2nd and 5.
And the Bryant fans it sounds like they're upset a little bit because they thought there should have been an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty as James Martin got pushed back down, James Martin got pushed back down, and so that brings up 2nd down and 5. 5 wide in the formation. Gideon Moats all alone looking to go big ball. Left side, James Martin has it go in and out of his hands, and we've got a penalty flag down at the 12-yard line.
I think this may be offensive pass interference, RJ. You start to see that the hands extend just a little bit. It's on Martin.
Pass interference defense.
Wow, they are going to
15-yard
call it on
penalty
the
results in
Bentonville
a first down.
defense, and that's a big-time penalty against the defense.
I thought Martin kind of pushed off of this. Maybe here's another look at it. Yeah, he did push off.
But the corner never turned around either to look see where the ball was.
Yeah, Martin initiated the contact. That's a tough break for Bentonville in my eyes.
So it's first down and 10 with the ball at the 26-yard line. 11:06 left in this game. Moats gonna hand it over to Martin. He'll work around the right side, stays on his feet, down to the 21-yard line. Boy, he runs really, really hard, doesn't he?
Yeah, the first defender is not bringing down Martin or Ganaway for that matter, or Singleton, the receiver, many times in this contest. And that second yardage, that yards after contact, has been huge in Bryant, moving the chains, keeping drives alive, and also finishing off drives.
It's 28-7. Hornets on top. Looking for more as they're at the Bentonville 21-yard line. Here's a toss over to Mytorian Singleton, and Bentonville's defense is just all over him. They had 4 guys right there on the jet sweep, and Mytorian Singleton couldn't go anywhere.
They've done a nice job talking about Bentonville's defense, recognizing when Singleton goes in motion. More times than not, they're going to do the quick pitch to him. The previous 2 times, they couldn't bring him down with first contact. That time, the defense swarms over and drops him for a loss.
So it's third down and 9 for this offense of the Hornets as we're under 10 to play in the game. Bryant has been very effective when they've gone with a 5-wide formation tonight, and that's what they're in right now. Gideon Moats walks over to Mytorian Singleton to talk about the play, and now he'll be back. Here's the play. Goes to Singleton on the right side, takes to the 20. It's not enough for a first down. Going to be about 4 yards shy of the first down, and that will bring up fourth down.
A nice job to close in and make the tackle and not allow yards after the catch there by Eli Estes, the defensive back. But now it's 4th and medium for Bryant. This is the scenario that Bentonville is struggling with so mightily tonight. We'll see if, on the other hand, Bryant can cash in on this red zone opportunity as they're at the 20.
They're going to leave the offense out there as it's 4th down and 4 from the 20-yard line. 4 wide receivers in the formation. Now 5. Moats going to look to throw under pressure, and he'll be thrown down back all the way at the 33-yard line.
Ben Pearson has played a phenomenal game. 91, the defensive end there for the outside linebacker for Bentonville. Just sheds the blocker, able to make the play, and a huge sack on 4th down to get the turnover on downs.
And that's probably one of the biggest plays that they've made, because Bryant had 5 wide in the formation, and Moats was just trying to get something, but he had a guy immediately in his face.
Yeah, that's a great job. He rolled right into that pressure, and Pearson recognized it, comes off his block, and makes the play. Bentonville's been really close to multiple sacks tonight. That time they finally get home.
First down and 10. Here's a pass play that goes left side into the hands of Luke Kuhn, and that'll be about a yard shy of the first down. And that'll bring up second down. Let's go down to Dorian real quick, as she's got an update on Brandon Johnson.
Brandon Johnson was buried on the depth chart at running back. Head coach Buck James said that Johnson was just too good to be waiting on the bench or playing in a rotation, so the coaching staff decided to move Johnson to linebacker. It took some time for Johnson to adjust, but he has turned into a player that can cover or tackle inside the box like we saw just before the quarter break. And James said since the North Little Rock game, Johnson has been the guy on this defense, and that's saying something for a Hornet squad that's averaging giving up just 10 points per game.
Thank you, Dorian. And here's Nye going to look to throw. There is a penalty flag down. He's going to short hop his intended target. That is wide receiver C.J. Brown. Let's see what the penalty flag is.
It came out early, so you like to probably think that's a formational issue for Bentonville.
Illegal formation on the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. That penalty's declined. Second down.
So it brings up second down and 10 with the ball at the 47-yard line. 4 wide in the formation. Nye's going to drop back, and he's under pressure. 2 guys missed him. He got out of it. Now he's going to look to throw. Has a man as he steps out of bounds at the 46-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down. But it brings up a 3rd down situation for the Tigers.
It's a nice job by Luke Kuhn to recognize the scramble drill there and come back to the quarterback. They were trying to get Ficklin on the wheel route out of the backfield. Bryant recognized it, so the quarterback Nye had to do other options and go to plan B or maybe even plan C on that.
That'll stop the clock at 8:28. Here's 3rd down as they go right side, and that'll be enough for the first down, as that time they got it into the hands of their wide receiver. That's J.J. Spafford.
That's been there all night, RJ. There's that 3 to 4 yard button hook, the quick out, either one. Bryant's been content with giving that up. They're just not going to let any of the big plays happen, and now we're here with under 9 minutes to play. Bentonville doesn't have enough time to dink and dunk it down the field.
4 wide receivers in the formation. As Nye going to run with it once again. Has a running lane out past the 40, and he'll step out of bounds at the 38.
We've talked about the pressure that has been so good for Bryant tonight. How good has the secondary play been for the Hornets?
Yeah.
There's no open targets beyond 5 yards past the line of scrimmage. They've been really, really good at limiting any kind of passing lane, any opportunity for Bentonville to get something going.
So it's 2nd down and 6 with the ball at the 38-yard line. Working out of the pistol set this time. 4 wide receivers in the formation. Nye going to step up in the pocket. He's under pressure, and it's almost intercepted as Drake Fowler got a hand on the ball. It went out of bounds, and now it's 3rd down. Down to 22 on the play clock. Bentonville taking their time to get the play in as they're going to send 3 wide to that left side. Nye's in the shotgun, and he's going to look to throw. He's under major pressure. They set up the middle screen, and Ficklin gets it inside the 40-yard line to the 39, but we've got another penalty flag that comes in at the 40-yard line.
That's a great play by Tyler Mosley. Takes on 2 blockers and makes the play out there in space for Bryant.
Our official is Bryant Derrick, and see what the call is.
Illegal block in the back on the offense. That penalty's declined. 4th down.
So it really turns out to be a 1-yard loss for Bentonville, and now you've got 4th down and 6 for the Tigers. Tigers come out with 4 wide in the formation as Ficklin is to the right of Nye. Nye's going to look to throw. He steps up in the pocket. He's under pressure. Goes right side, and he is not able to connect with his wide receiver. That is Q Brown, and that's going to be a turnover on down.
Just blanket coverage everywhere across the field and locked down there by Miguel Graham, number 12. There's nowhere for Nye to put that football. You're not going to see better defense on 3rd down, on 4th down, and Bryant's defense has just been suffocating all night long, giving up just 141 yards in this contest.
7:29 left in the game. How many total yards did you say?
141 for Bentonville.
Wow. Bentonville's a team that has been averaging 404 yards of total offense throughout the season. James Martin with the football, going to run it straight up the middle out past the 45, and he'll be taken down at the 48-yard line, about a yard shy of the first down.
Just to kind of further that talk, RJ, the longest play given up for Bryant, 1 play of 20 yards, 1 play of 12 yards, and everything else has been in single digits.
Wow.
So you can't get the short stuff. You can't get the big stuff.
Yeah.
It's tough to win doing that.
Bobby, you know, I've done games here at War Memorial, state championship games for almost 14 years now. I don't remember a defense this good. As it's 2nd down and 1, we'll finish the thought here in a moment, but they're going to fake that. Now they're going to give it to him. That's Martin, and he'll be able to cut the outside, get past the 50, and get much more as he'll take it down to the 40-yard line before he goes out of bounds to stop the clock.
The only game I can think of last year that would be even somewhat comparable was what El Dorado did to Greenwood. They just blitzed and blitzed and blitzed and held that potent Greenwood offense. I believe it was 27-10 was the final on that one. Other than that, I can't remember a more dominant performance. And you look at the score, it's 28-7. You got to remember that 7 was on defense.
Yeah.
So the Bryant defense is pitching a shutout right now. And, you know, I don't know if you can give an MVP to 11 or 22 guys on that side of the football, but right now they'd get my vote.
Here's a run by Ganaway as he'll get about 3 yards. Now, Bobby, you know, one thing that Buck James, since he came to Bryant, the one thing that he's done is develop a culture. And you know, if anybody knows anything about the 7A, you see that hashtag 212. And you saw Buck James wearing the sweatshirt that said 212 Nation. And what it means is, you know, the boiling point of water is at 211. And so that extra effort to get over the hump is at 212. That's really kind of been a culture that he has designed over at Bryant. I'll finish the thought after this play as they'll bring a man in motion. And they're going to hand it to Ganaway, who's going to go straight up the middle and he'll get about a yard on the play. But you realize, Bobby, that if the final score does go in the favor of the Bryant Hornets, Buck James's overall win total, right, as a head football coach, will be 212.
Sports are fun, right?
Sports are fun.
Sometimes the story writes itself. Yeah, that is exactly it. I mean, the culture you mentioned, the culture in the program, because 10 years ago, it was the Central Conference asking themselves the question, how do we get on the same level as the West?
Yeah.
And with the rise of North Little Rock, Conway, Cabot, and obviously Bryant, the power has clearly swung.
Here's a pass play to Ganaway, and he's in for the touchdown. Look at Ganaway right there. He had to readjust and make the touchdown catch. The penalty flag comes in as it's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
They're great adjustment on the ball. You see, he's expecting it over the inside shoulder. He has to completely turn around. And a great play by what's generally a running back. They line him up out wide. Another big play in the passing game. And I don't know if there's enough nice things we could say about the way that Gideon Moats has come in relief.
Yeah.
Remember,
after the
he
play,
didn't start this game. He came in as the backup and has done nothing but deliver.
That penalty
big
will be
play
enforced
after
on the
big
kickoff.
play.
The result
And
of the
Bryant
play,
is on the brink of a
touchdown.
5th straight state championship.
Yeah, and he's been the backup all year, though. And that's the thing is Walker has been the guy throughout the entire season. And Gideon Moats is just, you know, that's why coaches always say, you know, be ready for the moment, as they're going to fake it and take it to the right side and will get the 2-point conversion. Running with the football for the Hornets that time, that was Jordan Knox, who lost his helmet, and he got in for the 2-point conversion.
Another flag comes out after the play.
And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty once again. And so the Bryant Hornets lead it 36-7. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
For every moment, for every memory, from that first car to your first home, to your first child, and all the highs and lows that tomorrow might bring. For everything that matters most to you and your family, there's someone right around the corner dedicated to helping you protect what you love. Your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Farm Bureau Insurance. Real service, real people.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier. And that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us. Saline Clinics.
Hi, I'm Susie Everett, wishing you and your family a Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season. With our busy lives today, we often forget the greatest gift of Christmas. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. I hope all of us will take the time and share the love of Christ this season. May your holidays be filled with joy and blessings. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from all of us at Everett.
You can see what's airing this holiday season on Arkansas PBS. You can even download a schedule. Just go to myarpbs.org/schedule.
Back here at War Memorial Stadium, the Hornets up 36-7, on the verge of making high school sports history in the state of Arkansas, as they will be kicking off from the 40-yard line. Here's a squib kick that's going to go down to the 38-yard line, and that's where Bentonville will take it 1st and 10.
29-point lead for Bryant, as they are just going to inch ever closer. And I guess we should probably just get used to saying this. I mean, you think, okay, when's it going to stop? Yeah. Some thought it was going to be last year. Some thought it would be 2 years ago. Some thought it might even be tonight. This is 53 consecutive wins against schools from the state of Arkansas. I mean, there are not enough superlatives that we can sit here and say for the next 5 minutes and 9 seconds about how good this Bryant program has become.
Here's a catch that's made at the 45-yard line, and with the reception that time, it was Karsten Pate, as we'll take it down to the 48-yard line. No, I mean, look, for anybody that thinks that this Bryant team's not going away anytime soon, hey, by the way, the 9th graders at Bryant went undefeated this year.
Of course they did, because that's what they do, right?
As they get inside Bryant territory down to the 48-yard line. I mean, this has been and look, bro, you got to give it up to Buck James and what he's done. He's not only built a senior high program, but it's transitioned down into the junior high, and they're winning down in that area.
Yeah, I'm not saying this happened tonight, as Nye takes a big shot as he tries to deliver that one. There's a lot of games that Bryant wins when they step off the bus.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who think, okay, they can't be beat. I'm not saying that happened tonight. Bentonville clearly took a big swing at them early, took an early lead, just couldn't get the ground game going, and it snowballed on them from there. It's just one of those issues that you have to play a near flawless game, or you need Bryant to help you out. And Bryant helped out Bentonville at times tonight. 3 turnovers. But you saw the stat they just flashed on the screen. 155 yards for Bentonville.
Yeah, and here's a pass play that goes right side into the hands of Pate. And Pate will be upended and taken down at the 42-yard line. That'll be near a 1st down on that 3rd down conversion. And depending on where they spot the football, maybe it looks like it's going to be about a yard shy, so to bring up 4th down and 1.
And again, that's another prime example of how tough things have been on 3rd down. It looked like they're about the easy pitch and catch, and they chop them just short. 2 of 13 on 3rd down for Bentonville. They've had opportunities. They just haven't been able to capitalize on them.
4th down and 1. And now we've got whistles and penalty flags. And once again, Bobby,
it's the 3rd time on 4th down.
Snap infraction on the offense.
I mean, it's just been missed opportunities for Bentonville. And look, whether it's the Bryant defense or not, those are just fundamental mistakes on the Bentonville offense.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to do too much. You're trying to get that early start. You're trying to get whatever advantage you can to win the one-on-one battle right in front of you. And for the 3rd time, Bentonville pushes themselves back on a 4th down.
So it's 4th down and 6, as Nye's going to step up in the pocket, going to look to run. He'll slide, but it's just shy of the 1st down marker, as he'll be down at the 49. And that will be a turnover on downs at the 44-yard line. The Hornets will get the football back.
Yeah, just another big stop by Bryant's defense. And I don't know if they're going to get another chance to walk onto the field, but if that's the last time we see them, remember it, because that's one of the best defenses I think that we've seen in a championship moment. They go out there and put almost a nearly perfect game plan and execute.
Yeah, and Bobby, I think about I think about that Springdale team that back in the day that was really, really good. I think more people think about the offense with them than they do the defense. But, I mean, that was a really good state championship team. As Bryant's going to come out with 3 wide to that near side. And Gideon Moats is going to keep it himself and just stay right up the middle. And he'll pick up 4, maybe 5 yards on the play out to the 49-yard line.
You know, I've never been a big fan of comparing teams from, different eras or different decades, because I think there is a recency bias. We always, what's in front of you, you always assume that's the best thing you're ever going to see, right? Yeah. We hear the conversation on who's the best player of all time, quarterback, basketball player, whatever. But I mean, this is these Bryant teams, like you watch them on film and you think, okay, well, maybe you can expose this or maybe you can expose that, and all of a sudden the game happens and you can't expose either one of those things.
As here's a run by Daniel Anderson, who just checked in the ball game, and Anderson takes it a yard shy of the first down after picking up 4 yards, and that'll bring up 3rd down and 1 now for Bryant.
Yeah. I mean, so the last 5 years has been the culmination of what's happened with the last 10 or 15 with the Little Rock Metro, right? There's been a large amount of people moving to the suburbs. Conway's seen that growth. Cabot's seen that growth. Obviously, Bryant and Benton's been in this championship game a handful of times. And now Bryant's, reaping those benefits because they've gotten so many move-ins, so much talent come into their town. Not because they're moving in to play football, because they moved in when they were kids, or their parents moved there, then had kids, and they got into the school system. Because we've seen that school grow by leaps and bounds over the last 10 or 15 years. And unfortunately for maybe the rest of the state, I don't see a stop to it anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, and you heard Dorian earlier in the broadcast say how Jody Grant, for the Bentonville Tigers head coach, all those West teams, they all got together and said, all right, what do we got to do to be more competitive in the Central? As Malachi Graham has a short punt that's going to hit down at the 25, take a Bryant roll inside the 10, and it's going to roll down at around the 8-yard line, and that's where Bentonville's going to have it 1st and 10 with 1:52 to play left here in the 4th quarter. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, for the Bryant Hornets on that last play, Jordan Walker, who started this ball game at quarterback for the Hornets, he checked back in the ball game.
But all it takes is one game, though, RJ. We sit here and talked about how great this program is, that they could never be beaten. They're going to go undefeated for the end of time, right?
Yeah.
All it takes is one game. One play to go the other direction, and the championship swings another way. But as of where it stands right now, Bryant can sit on top of the mountain that is Arkansas high school football and say, give me your best shot, because we haven't been knocked off in 5 years.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Here's a run by Ficklin, and Ficklin will get out past the 10 to the 13-yard line, and he's able to get a 5-yard run right there to bring up 2nd down.
Got the semifinals wrapping up tonight. Of course, we got 2 more championship games next week. Looks like Charleston is well on their way to playing for a 3A title. Of course, they've been a mainstay here in Little Rock and War Memorial Stadium.
Here's the pass play that goes to the near side. He stays in bounds, and for Bentonville, making the reception, that was J.J. Spafford.
Who Charleston's going to play, still in question, though. Boonville's got a 34-30 lead on Melbourne.
Oh, wow.
Still 9 minutes left in that game. Imagine a Charleston-Boonville game. Those two teams separated by, 25, 30 miles?
Yeah.
We kind of saw that championship matchup earlier today. Hazen and Carlisle separated by just 10 miles.
Here's Nye as he makes the completion on the left side. That's over to Luke Kuhn, and Kuhn's right at the marker to pick up the 1st down.
And it was kind of sad. There's only 5 football games across the state tonight.
Yeah.
That means the end is near, unfortunately.
I'll tell you what, Bobby, I love championship weekend, but boy,
depression sinks in right after.
You really start to think, boy, football's about to go away, as it's 1st and 10, and now we've got penalty flags.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
4A semifinals. I think we're about to see a team that's used to be in here, RJ. Harding has got a chance at about a 30-yard field goal to beat Arkadelphia.
Wow. Hey, that game turned around pretty quickly, didn't it?
It did. It was 21-7, and it looks like Harding just kicked the field goal to beat Arkadelphia.
Here's a 1st down play. He fumbled the football, and it's picked up by, that was Ficklin who picked it up, and he'll reverse field, take it out to the 35, stay on his feet, and he'll drag defenders. It's going to end up be about a 2-yard gain after it's all said and done. Just saw where my buddy Justin Rue is watching on Arkansas PBS tonight, as he and his family are watching for the first time, and Buck James just got the Gatorade bath on the near side, and they're going to do a sideline warning, because I think the referee actually got some of that Gatorade bath.
It's the only time Buck James is not going to be worried about a sideline warning or a sideline interference.
I don't think Buck James cares.
No.
He's like, you can mark off yards right now. So it is a sideline warning on the Hornets. There's 8 seconds remaining in this one. Nye's going to look to throw, goes right side in the hands of Brown. He'll get past the 50. They get him down inside the 40, and that's going to do it. The Hornets are historic. They are a 5-time state champion at the high school level in Arkansas, and you can put in the books the Bryant Hornets are 12-0 and state champions in 2023.
This might not have been the most dominant Bryant team we've seen as a whole. Roster 1 through 100 or 120, whatever's on their field. Defensively, this is one of the best teams we've seen in a long time.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Buck James gets his 212th win as a head coach, and the Hornets win it 36-7. You're watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.
Thanks, George. Appreciate it. At Big Red Stores, we're always proud to sponsor, support, and partner up with many events and activities throughout the community. Among them, high school championships throughout the state of Arkansas. At Big Red Stores, our team members are always ready to assist you to make your visit with us a pleasant one. And at Big Red Stores, we recognize that none of our support or ability to serve the community is possible without you. That's why at Big Red Stores, you're always the MVP of the Big Red team. Big Red Stores, now more convenient than ever.
Broadcast of this championship game is made possible by
the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Over 2,500 team members across 17 local electric distribution co-ops, powering homes, farms, and industries somewhere across Arkansas. We are the Electric Cooperatives of Arkansas. Power and people.
Local broadcast of Arkansas PBS programming is made possible in part by Community Bakery. Scratch-made breads, pastries, cakes, treats, and locally roasted coffees. Served daily at 2 locations in Little Rock, 1200 Main and 270 Shackelford.
At Saline Health System, we're focused on making our communities healthier, and that starts with providing the care you need. Our team of family, internal, and pediatric medicine physicians are focused on providing high-quality care. So when you need care for the whole family, you can count on us. Saline Clinics.
Back here at War Memorial, the Hornets win it, and let's head down to Dorian Kraft, who's got the winning head coach, Buck James.
Coach, you said earlier this week that defense always shows up. Your defense held a Bentonville offense that was averaging over 400 yards a game to just 218. How did your defense show out tonight?
Well, they were awesome. I mean, they've been awesome all year. I mean, last year they were all back, you know, from last year's team. And if you remember, they scored a ton of points on us, and we hardly could stop them. But that's what a year of growth and great coaching from our defensive staff, and they played a great game. I mean, they had no answers for what we were able to do, and I'm proud of our defense. I'm proud of our defensive coaches. I'm proud of our offense. Those guys did a heck of a job as well.
Gideon Moats just ran past us. You gave him a big hug, said, "I'm proud of you." He came off the bench, 196 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. What impressed you the most about his play?
Well, you know, I mean, he's struggled this year. He's had a couple injuries, and, you know, it's just been – and Jordan's played well, and, you know, he kept battling. And, you know, that's a good lesson for life. I mean, not many kids do that. And, you know, he's a good baseball player as well, but he kept working every day, kept doing his job, and, you know, he came out here and helped win the state championship.
Coach, you're now the first program in Arkansas high school history to win 5 state championships in a row in the playoff era. What is the biggest difference between the feeling of winning this one and the first one back in 2018?
Well, they're all special. I mean, words can't explain it. You know, I never thought we would be here at this point, and, you know, it's a great sacrifice by our kids, our coaches, and our administration, and most importantly, our parents. They let us coach these guys, and we coach them hard, and to be able to do what they've done, it takes a whole group of people doing their job.
Coach, thank you. RJ?
Thank you, Dorian. And, you know, Buck James is not an emotional man, but you can kind of see that what the moment meant for him.
The grind starts on January 1 for a lot of these programs, and it doesn't matter if you win a state championship or you go 0-10. So when you go from January 1 to here we now on December the 2nd, it's been 12 months, 11 months and 2 days technically, for Buck James to put everything he's got into this, and for it to come to fruition like this, and to be able to be presented this trophy for the 5th consecutive time, and in a dominant fashion on both sides of the football. I mean, it's got to hit you in the feels a little bit, because he knows what the kind of work and the hours that not only he, his staff, and his players have put in.
Bobby, I don't know if people watching at home, look at Buck James right there. I don't know if people watching at home realize the historic moment that we're in right now. I mean, this is extremely hard to do. We see state championships every year, but to see 5 of them in a row, what that means for the state.
When you look at what they've done as a whole, and you and I get the privilege of watching 7 state championships a year for football, 14 for basketball, whatever the case is. But to see this grow and then the program grow, it's amazing. How many great football players have we seen in our state? I mean, just recently, you know, of course, Michael Dyer, Little Rock Christian, and all the great quarterbacks that came through Pulaski Academy, Mitch Mustaine, you mentioned the 2006 Springdale team. None of those teams ever did this, because you know what takes to win 5 in a row? Multiple classes. Not one group, not one kid who led your team for a long period of time. It takes years of building that and sustaining that success. And it's been really impressive to see what they've been able to put together.
Real quick, this was just handed to me. The MVP of this game, Bobby, Gideon Moats, 13 of 22, 4 touchdowns, 197.
And it all started with one quarterback scramble. It was 3rd and long. Bryant's offense had negative 33 yards at that point. He scrambles for, I believe it was 14 yards, picks up a first down. They start the option read. They started to get things going. He settled in. Bryant settled in, and they put it in cruise control after that.
Well, it was a fun night as the Hornets are 5 straight champions. That's what it is. You heard it, Bryant. The 7A champions go to Saline County and the Bryant Hornets. For Bobby Swafford, Dorian Kraft, I'm RJ Hawk. Your final in this one, the Bryant Hornets win it 36-7. You've been watching the Centennial Bank State Football Championships on Arkansas PBS Sports.